Having a little trouble with the camera here. I just got on. Hold on. One moment here. Technical issues to start this one. Give me one moment. Running through my cameras here. There we go. Hopefully. No? Yes? Are we there? There we are. Sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties with the cameras. Hopefully, that's a sign that our luck is changing in a good way here for the Sabres. Ugh, man. Fighting through it already. My USB connection got bumped right as I hit the go live button, and that resulted in my camera needing to be totally reset. So that wasn't wonderful. That wasn't a wonderful way to start the day. But we're here. Sabres set to take on the Capitals. Sabres trying not to lose another game in overtime. Sabres trying not to lose another game in a row. Trying to stop this losing streak at 4 games. So that would be nice. That'd be a good result for Buffalo. Just to find some way to get a win would be ideal. It doesn't really matter which way it comes. The Capitals are struggling a lot right now as well, having lost 3 straight and only scoring 2 goals in their last 3 games and being outscored 11-3 in their last 3 games. The Capitals are struggling as well. Sabres catch a break with this game because Logan Thompson played last night for the Capitals as they took on the Islanders. So the Sabres are going to hopefully be able to benefit a little bit from that, having a bit of a, well, I would say weaker goal. Well, no, it's pretty clear that you'd much rather have Charlie Lindgren in net than Logan Thompson. Logan Thompson, one of the best goalies in the National Hockey League in terms of the statistics. So you'd much rather have him in than somebody else. But the Caps are going the way they're going because, again, they had to play last night. So always tough to kind of come back from that. Always tough to kind of get it going again when you're on a losing streak. The Sabres have played very well despite being on the losing streak. The other thing the Sabres are dealing with tonight is, of course, the injury to Zach Benson. Zach Benson been placed on the injured reserve list, which means he'll be out for a little while. The Sabres have responded by bringing up Isaac Rozan from Rochester. And according to what we know and what we've seen from the morning skate, and I don't know exactly warm-ups, I should probably check that, but Rozan will slot in on the third line with Kulik and Quinn. Greenway and Zucker are going to take up positions on the top line, while the second and fourth lines will remain unchanged. If that is indeed how the Sabres end up going in this game, that I think is the correct decision, because the second and fourth line have been where you've gotten almost all of your offense, almost all of your chances in the last few games. The first and third lines have not played great, have been a bit disjointed at times, so I think it will be better for everybody if we keep those second and the second and fourth lines untouched, as it is. Anytime you play the Capitals, you have to be aware of Alex Ovechkin. He's been kind of quiet this year, sitting on the second line. The leading scorer for the Capitals is Tom Wilson. Tom Wilson is taking up that right wing spot on the top line for the Capitals. Their top line is Protas, McMichael, and Tom Wilson. And the second line, Sonny Milano, Hendrix Laperriere, and Alex Ovechkin. Those are their top 6. It's a pretty good group, especially defensively. They have a lot of really good defensive players. And it's a team that doesn't allow a lot of shots, as we saw in the preview. As I talked about in the preview video, they allow some of the fewest shots per game in the league. So it's a real clash of styles, if you will, because the Sabres fill up the shot board. They also give up a lot of shots, whereas the Capitals don't really allow a lot of shots, but they also don't shoot very much. To kind of showcase that, the Capitals game last night against the Islanders, both teams only had 23 shots. That would be unheard of. I think if we saw a Sabres game like that, where where both teams only had 23 shots, I think we'd be blown away by that. It's just not the way the Sabres play hockey. The Sabres prefer to get a high volume of chances and go from there, try their luck from there. So it's really going to be one of those games, I think, where the Sabres are going to have to find some shots, find ways to work through the defense. I've talked a little bit about the organizational philosophy of Washington over the years. It's never been a high compete team. I think they've trended more and more in that direction because they simply don't have the star power that they used to have. It's a very young group. They don't have a lot of high-end stars, save for Ovechkin. So they have a lot of younger forwards. They don't have a ton of veteran talent. They're like I said this as well. They're like a slightly better version of this. They're a better version of the Sabres that actually found a goaltender and has retained star power over a generation. But philosophically, they're much more of a high-flying team still in their hearts than they are a team that's going to outwork you every shift. But they're much more defensively responsible than they used to be back in the day. That's for sure. So for the Sabres, it's going to be UPL in net tonight. I know that is, again, causing kind of a collective groan among the fan base who don't really want to see him. But you have to play him at some point, especially I hear a lot of people say that we should trade him, and I don't disagree that we should try to work a trade for UPL, but you got to get him out there. He has to somehow prove that he can stay healthy, and he has to somehow prove that he can stop shots. Now, those are two things that are very much in question, but if we actually want to trade him, those are things that he has to prove, because right now with his contract, there's no way you're going to trade him if teams are questioning his health and questioning whether or not he can stop anything. Where does that leave Colton Ellis? Well, I don't think Colton Ellis is going to be getting too many games out there. We're having a ceremonial puck drop here. Dahlin and Ovechkin out there. Oh, yeah, Mossy, you're going to get monumental. Hey, well, they're not the worst folks in the world. Beninati and Locker are pretty good down there. It could well happen. UPL really does need that good game. Welcome in, local. Welcome in, Mossy. Thank you for stopping by tonight. This is hopefully going to be a good one. I look forward to these games. Anytime I get to play the Caps, a team I really grew up knowing all the players for. Right, as the Bears were sending their folks there. Then once they became Caps, I'm like, well, I hope they do well, but I don't care if they win. I don't know them quite as well as I used to because my following of the Bears has decreased a lot as well, but I still have good place in my heart for a lot of the guys. But no hometown energy their way tonight, not at all. But yeah, I've listened to a lot of Joe Beninati, Craig Laughlin over the years. They're pretty good at what they do. At least you're not listening. At least you're not going to listen to the John Walton, man. The radio announcer's awesome. I love John Walton. Just because he was the Bears announcer for so long, but good guy, really good guy. A bit of a hometown situation going on here, Caps and Sabres for some of us. It looks like a really good crowd tonight. It looks like it's pretty much full, just from the angle I have as they go through the benches. But it looks like they have I don't know if it's going to say a sellout, but it looks like pretty full in there, which is good. There's a bit of energy back around this team, but if we just won one of those games, imagine where we'd be as far as the energy. Sabres have work to do now because they were not able to get 4 points or 3 points in those first two games of this kind of new stage of the season. They now have a very tough schedule ahead of them, and they're going to have to get points against teams that they wouldn't traditionally be projected to get points against. That's always a challenge, but you got to get it done. I don't know what's going on with Tage Thompson's hair. Everyone kind of is puffy right now as far as their hairstyles. Hopefully puffy hair does not lead to puffy play. That's all I'll say. Not starting goaltender numbers are not the most appealing things to look at in the world. Charlie Lindgren, 3.72 goals against, 8.82 save percentage. No, it's all up top. It's not on the sides either. And it wasn't long enough to be considered a mullet mop. It was just, welcome in by the way, just kind of puffy. I don't know. Maybe that's what the kids are doing these days. I don't know. Well, we're going to be getting underway here pretty soon now that the anthems are finished. I wish the mullets were there. That would give me a little more faith that this was a hockey team and not a youth club. Lindy is just taking the easy approach to life there. All right, underway here. Game is underway. They have the fourth line out there, as always, to the Sabres to start things off. Here we go. Sabres looking for early energy. I do not love the blue helmets on the Capitals. I don't like it. I never liked the fact that I always enjoyed like the red or the white helmets were much better, but the blue helmets, no, they're ugly. Anyway, 1939 to go in the first period. Tied up in the corner, shot comes in, and it is gloved by Lindgren. Quick first shot there by Samuelsson, and the Sabres are on the board in some capacity with an opening shot. Yeah, that's the thing. This could easily be a 5-game winning streak right now for the Sabres if we had just been able to come through in overtime. Even if you just win one of those games, you're feeling much better about yourself because you win one or two of those, and you're in a much better position. You're not tied for last in the division. This division, the Atlantic, is so tight right now, though. Like you want to keep pace. You certainly can't lose this game. But you got to find a way, I think, to get a win tonight. I think you get a win tonight, it's going to make things feel a lot better heading into. It's going to be a very tough week next week. Pass goes down low, and it is redirected away and thrown across. Sabres are starting a 3-game homestand before they hit the road on a very difficult road trip. Sabres are offside there, 19:15 to go in the first period. That road trip is killer. That road trip, so they have this week. They have the Caps, they have Utah, they have St. Louis. St. Louis may be the one team they can get a win against there. But St. Louis is eventually going to be coming up, you would think. Sabres win the draw. 19-12 to go. I'm sorry, the Capitals won the draw. It kind of looked like they won the draw. I don't know. I'm blind. I'm not very good in the first minute of these games. Capitals have it. High slot chance. Strome working it down low to Ovechkin. Ovechkin fires a soft shot on rebound. They score. Just like that, the Washington Capitals are in front. I believe that was Strome getting the goal off the rebound. Not a great rebound to give up. Defense doesn't do anything to clear it. 18:35 gone in the first. Capitals on their first shot of the game up 1-0. Byram turned it over. Strome got it. McLeod not able to stick it away from him. They work it down to Ovechkin. Kesselring tells Tuck to go cover Ovechkin. He doesn't do it. Shot comes down low. Byram's taken the body to someone. Nobody shuts down Strome. And that was just poor work really across the board. And the Sabres once again have conceded the first goal, which is turning into a trend this season. Caps up 1-0 already. The good news is there's time. The bad news is, well, you're losing. 18:38 to go. Sabres looking for a chance in front. Ovechkin sticks it away. And it goes to the back wall behind Lindgren. Capitals repossessing, and they throw it up ice. Laperriere dances away from center and throws it back to, I believe that's Van Riemsdyk. Now Laperriere throws it up. And Tom Wilson now on the ice as their Caps are starting to transition over to their top line. Fairharvey makes a check. Dahlin picks it behind the net. Tries to bring it out. Krebs has it. Krebs spins away in his own zone. Gets it to Timmins. And there's a shot coming. Bad rebound is there. Malenstein with a chance. The rebound off Lindgren was not great. But the Sabres all pinched, and it's a breakaway chance for the Caps. 2-0. They score. I don't know what they did, but all the Sabres crashed in at the same time, and there was nobody back. And this has been a disastrous start. An absolutely disastrous start for the Sabres. Might have to get out the eyewash before the 10-minute mark if this continues. 2-0 Capitals, just like that. I mean, what can you do? I mean, I don't even know what happened. There's just nobody back. Bad line change, probably. They saw that they were going in the offensive zone. It was a deflection, which nobody could find. The only guys back were the forwards. So there were just no defensemen out on the ice. Anyway, it's 2-0 Capitals already. 17:45 to go in the first period. Haven't even been able to set in and take stock. Yeah, that's not on UPL. That's not... It's a 2-0. I mean, the first goal may be the rebound. You'd like to see him make that save. Just control the rebound a little bit. But defense isn't shutting anybody down. No communication. Poor communication. I mean, you have two teams coming in on 2-3 game losing streaks. And the Capitals look like they're ready to take care of business. And the Sabres look like they're ready to take a nap. 17:34 here. Sabres have the puck down low. Quick shot in front. They score. Tage Thompson gets one back. And, you know, the last time these two teams met, it was 8-5, I believe, was the final. Well, this is going in that direction again. 2-1 now. The Sabres get one back on a Tage Thompson goal. Oh, my goodness. We're already in the twilight zone. It's a good play in front. They cycle the puck around. Thompson gets to a good position and just fires it home. I don't know what the Capitals were doing defensively. Nobody wanted to take the high slot away from Thompson. That's what Greenway gives you on that top line, though, because he's someone who's going to be able to take it behind the net and cycle it around a little bit. I do think it's a good idea putting him up there. With Benson gone, you need someone who's going to go behind the play and to the back wall and generate possession and generate cycles. So I think it was a good move. Obviously paying dividends already. If we get another goal, we can just restart the game, which would be delightful. 17:03 to go first period. 2-1 Capitals already. Yeah, that's happening. McLeod brings it into the zone. Shot by Tuck goes wide of the goal. Dahlin picks it up at the point. Dahlin down to Kesselring. Kesselring, oh, good idea to pass it to Doan. He wasn't ready for it. Deflects it back into the corner where the forecheck continues. But the Capitals ring it out of the zone and bring it up ice with Belvier. So now the Sabres have possession. Samuelson has it, receiving the pass from Dahlin. 16:32 to go first period. Sabres down 2-1. And now they bring it into the zone. Quinn leaves it for Isaac Rozan, making his first NHL appearance of the season. Little pass down low. Throws it in front and just out of the reach of Dahlin. Pretty good chance there. Quinn puts it down low himself. And now chance in front. Goes wide of the goal. And now they work it up ice. to the Sabres. So down low, Kulik with the puck. Goes out and wide. And behind the net, Owen Power throws it across to Connor Timmins. Timmins up ice. And there is Beck Mallenstein. Mallenstein throws it towards the goal. Power tied up a little bit, trying to tie the puck up. He can't do it. And here come the Capitals, but they lose the puck at center ice. They get it back. Does Alexei Protas. Protas to Wilson. McMichael a shot. That is held by UPL. Good save. And we'll get a face-off with 15:21 to go. Yeah, I would say if you're, it depends where you are. If you're in the region that the Capitals are in, probably Monumental's the only way to do it. If someone else can speak to that, I would appreciate it. If anyone is out of market and knows how to help Sierra there, that would be appreciated. I think Monumental might be the only way if you're in the area, if it's not on ESPN+. It's not a national game. It is a regional game. So I would say that that would be your way to go, probably. Oh, that's right, JL. Thank you. Yeah. We get to fall back. We get that extra hour of sleep. We're going to make the most of that extra hour of sleep. I don't know. Draw is won by the Sabres. They're on the power play. 1:56 to go. Down low, Doan in front. The other side, a chance goes wide of the goal. 15:10 to play. Puck is recycled back out. Capitals come in with the 24th ranked penalty kill in the league, 73.7%. Sabres 21.6%, good for 14th on the power play. Tom Wilson, doing his favorite pastime of taking unsportsmanlike conducts, is in the box for the Capitals. Rasmus Dahlin to Tage Thompson. Back to Dahlin. Dahlin tries to work it down low to Rozan. Good on them for giving him power play time. Thompson misses the net. I'm really glad to see that, giving him a chance to thrive where he has been successful. Rozan in the circle. A shot, glove, save. Charlie Lindgren. Rozan. That was a really good shot and a really good glove by the Capitals netminder. Yeah, you're fine, Mossy. I understand the joys of living down there, so in Caps land, so you're fine. So, Josati, I think the first goal was the case where the Sabres, in general, just didn't play very well defensively, and then UPL did give up a rebound, which they scored on. The second goal was a total train wreck in terms of there was nobody back defensively whatsoever. It was a 2-on-0. So I can't really get on UPL for the 2-on-0. So I'd say maybe one you can classify on UPL, but the other one you're going to classify on the whole team, perhaps the defense. Local, are you you're referencing the song, I hope, right? I hope you don't have some big clawing regret, although who doesn't have a big clawing regret in their life? So Sabres here, a minute to go on the power play, 14:20 to go in the first. Dahlin circles around his own net, brings it up ice, brings it across center, stops, just throws it back. They're trying to hit with speed. Rozan does hit with speed. Doan actually loses the puck there. Then Dahlin got it back, but he wasn't able to press it forward. Power play is going to change their personnel. 40 seconds to go, 13:57 to go in the first. 2-1, Washington is the score. As now McLeod brings it across to Tuck. Tuck down to McLeod. McLeod to Tuck in front. Bobbled by, and then bobbled again by Quinn. Quinn just, is that Quinn or Samuels? I don't know who it was, but he was losing the puck there. Tuck drops off for Power in front. Chance. Good save, Charlie Lindgren. That was a good chance. They generated something special there. No worries, Josati. Work is a bane for me as well most of the time. It's the main reason I'm not able to stream most of the time when I'm not able to stream. So I can understand. But glad to have you stop by. Capitals have the puck now. The penalty is over. 13:03 to go first period. Puck goes up to center. And it is dropped down, gloved down, I should say, by Chisholm. And now there's a bit of a fight, a bit of a scrap. Greenway, and that's Tom Wilson and Jordan Greenway. Big surprise, you get Tom Wilson involved. He has Greenway tied up on the boards right now. Wilson's a pretty solid fighter. Greenway got a good punch in. Don't hurt yourself, Jordan. Just don't hurt yourself again. We really can't afford losing your first line, people. It's a good wrestling match. Not a lot of punches being thrown. Wilson gets a shot in against Greenway's helmet. And they're still just clawing at each other a little bit, and linesmen say that's enough. A spirited draw between Greenway and Wilson there. They'll both head to the box. 12:56 to play. Good to see someone taking on Tom Wilson. That's someone who can do everything. He can score, he can hit, he can get in your head. So good for Greenway to protect his folks up there. We head to the break. 2-1 in favor of Washington. Yeah, Wilson's a man. Wilson's a really, really tough guy. That's his thing. That's why it's not the worst idea in the world to play him on your top line, actually, because you have Ovechkin who can just come in and take up that spot when he's in the box. It's like a swing situation. You either get offensive Tom Wilson or you get penalty box Tom Wilson, but either way, you're getting a version of Tom Wilson that's tough to deal with. He's a really unique player. Yeah, you'd like to be able to find a way to shut him down in some capacity, right? But I think the idea is, with the injuries and everything, it's too difficult to match up at this point, anybody. And I don't think we have anyone, despite their size, who can play up to Tom Wilson's compete level. It's an indictment on the Sabres that we don't really have a guy quite like that, but who can actually play hockey as well. Yeah, Benson definitely 6'7". James Payne coming in with... They're just sending Tom Wilson away now. He's not thrilled. He's not dressed and he's not thrilled. Six backs now. I'm trying to think. I'm just gonna look up here. Sabre. I haven't memorized. I mean, I did for the player profiles, but I've quickly forgotten. Sabres by height. Got to sort them all out here. Tallest Sabre right now is Jordan Greenway at 6'6". Tage Thompson at 6'6" as well. Dunn is 6'4". Gertson 6'4". Tuck 6'4". So right now there's no 6'7". Maybe deeper in the organization there is. Maybe down in Rochester. I need to get the Rochester guys' heights memorized. That's my next task. We're back to action here. Well, good. We can get UPL out there to fight Tom Wilson. I think that's going to work. Yeah. On the defensive side, too. I didn't have the defenders up. Penn State has a lot of crazy folks. Yeah, Power is 6'6". Kesselring 6'5". Samuelson 6'4". Dahlin and Timmins are 6'3". We have a collection of tall guys, but we don't have like that basketball center guy. I don't know how you can play hockey at 7 foot though. Like that seems like it'd be tough. 12:37 to go here in the first. Shots 6-5 in favor of Washington. Goals 2-1 in favor of Washington. We might be at 6 by the end of the game, given how this one started with just rapid fire goals in the first 3 minutes. It's settled down a little bit since then as the Sabres take it to the back wall with the fourth line. Krebs in a puck battle. Dunn is joining it as well. Back to the point. Timmins, shot from the point, glove saved by Lindgren. Lindgren has the glove working tonight so far. I'd like to see the Sabres maybe test him on the other side. Well, how tall was Mertka? Mertka was pretty tall, right? I don't remember, but he's in Seattle now. I think he was also in the 6'6" variety. Yeah, Tyler Myers was very tall. He was a very tall player. I'll have to check Rochester. I'll do that when I get an opportunity. Next commercial break, I'll still go see what Rochester has as far as height. 12 minutes to play here in the first period. Kesselring throws it down ice. Tuck. And then behind the net, Thompson throws it around. It's tied up in the half wall. And the Capitals with John Carlson will take possession. Carlson works it out. And good forecheck attempt there by Thompson, but he doesn't win the puck. And the Capitals go in on their forecheck and try to cycle it around a little bit. And oh wow, the Capitals had a breakthrough there, but they couldn't get the puck off the wall. Good job by Kesselring to tie it up. There were Capitals uncovered all over the defensive zone there. Carlson down low, throws it back. I'd like to see the Sabres just with a little more awareness and a little better skating right now. They don't look like they're very aware, and they don't look like they're skating very well in the offensive zone at the moment. That has to be the biggest height difference at one time in any team. Gerby and Myers. At least in hockey. NBA, you get crazy situations like that. Ovechkin down to McMichael. They're trying to cycle the puck now. Van Riemsdyk to his partner and then tries to pass it along. Rozan trying to tie up behind the net. That's not going to happen, but he does do enough to help Dahlin get the puck. Dahlin immediately gives it away to the Capitals. Shot from the point comes in. Ovechkin tries to fire a shot from the circle, which Samuelson blocks off. And then they work it back to Ovechkin. Dangerous position for him. UPL made the save. Sabres have got to get control of this puck and get it out of the zone. Rozan is able to get the puck as Ovechkin overskated it. And Sabres are able to get it across the red line, but the Capitals go right back into the zone. This is where they are so dangerous. They've always been dangerous when they get you down and pinned in your own zone because they do not let you out. But there, the Sabres do break out a little bit. Doan forward, Tuck, a chance, they score! Buffalo ties the game, Alex Tuck. From Doan, the Sabres were hemmed in, they broke it out, and they tied it up. Just a great play. And Alex Tuck, one-handed for the most part, was able to control that puck and fire it under Lindgren. Great goal. They were able to get a 2-on-1, Doan, a nice pass over, and then Tuck able to finish the deal while having Carlson on his back. Just a great effort by Alex Tuck. Carlson all over him, but Tuck is able to beat Lindgren, and we're tied at 2. We have a new hockey game. That's awesome, local. That's a good jersey combination there to have, especially the 40th anniversary jerseys as well. That was great. Good response. It looked like we were getting worked, but we had them right where we wanted them the whole time, apparently. So 2-2, just over the 10-minute mark in the first period. The first 10 minutes have been wild and exciting, and 7 shots apiece. Clearly, both teams have said defense is optional in this one thus far. Puck battle on the boards. And now the Capitals try to work it down low. They're getting good pinches off the line that we're not quite able to deal with, but At times, the Capitals, again, a little bit over-aggressive, it looks. They're really pressing to get more offense. They, again, have really struggled offensively this year. You wouldn't know it by the way this game has started. But, you know, they're still pressing. They still want goals. You don't change your mentality just because you scored 2 in the first few minutes. And it's going to be stopped for icing here. So the puck will go back down into the Washington zone. 8:52 to play here in the first period. 2-2 the score. Shots even, 7-7. Man. I wasn't prepared for this kind of a start. I wasn't prepared for 4 goals in the first 11 minutes. I thought, just a nice hockey game like we've been getting. I'm not disappointed, but more confused. We're going to get a full-on center ice face-off here. And now we're going to get just a complete stoppage. And yeah, it's just going to be a full timeout. Okay, nobody knows what's going on right now. 8:52 to go in the first. Score is 2-2. It's time to go look up the Rochester Americans' height because we're trying to figure out if we have a tall player somewhere in this organization. We know that the tallest Sabres are all 6'6", and I'm trying to figure out the height of the Amrics. So if anyone knows heights for the Amrics, please let us know. Yeah, it's been a good response. It would have been very easy the overtime losses, back-to-back overtime losses, and kind of not feeling too great about yourselves probably. I don't want to do this player by player, but I guess they don't have a choice. Yeah, nobody on Rochester looks to be that tall at the moment. Bunch of 6-foot guys. I wish they had just a straight-up list of people here. They have short... Koff is 6'4". That's something. Anton Wahlberg 6'3". I'd love to see him get a shot at some point. Consta Helenius is not tall. He's 5'11". Defensively, Rathbone's pretty tall, right? No, he's 5'11". Why did I think Rathbone was... He sounds like he'd be tall, right? Name like Rathbone, you think he's going to be a physical specimen, right? Name has nothing to do with it, I know, but it just sounds like a name that would be interesting. Novikov is 6'4". Komarov is 6'4". Topias Leinonen is 6'5", but that's the tallest one. I think Mertka was probably the tall guy that we're trying to think of down there, but he's off in Seattle now, so getting one more year is in his junior career. So back to action here, 8:41 to go in the first period. Capitals get a pretty good shot in from this side there. I believe that was maybe Fairharvey with the chance. And the Sabres work it up. Ice now. Try to bring it into the zone. McLeod for Byram. They have Tuck circling to the front, but the puck was not on line. He got it pretty open position, too. It's tied up. Dowd's able to clear it up. That went out of play. They're going to say it deflected? That was pretty dangerous as far as clearances go, but looks like it got up and out of play. Glad to see that the Sabres responded, right? Down 2-0, you would think, oh my gosh, we're in trouble. But this team has responded to a lot of difficult situations this year. This team has a lot more toughness mentally than I think we've seen in the past. And it's good to see that every time they face adversity, they're able to claw their way back into games. The thing we're missing right now is taking that next step and actually winning those games after clawing back into them. So hopefully that's what the Sabres find a way to do tonight. Puck back to Dahlin as the Sabres won the draw. Samuelson tries to take a shot in. It's blocked off. And the Caps try to bring it up ice. UPL sees it into the corner. Capitals coming in on a kind of a delayed forecheck attempt, and they're able to win the puck. Strome able to ring it around a little bit, but it got blocked off by Dahlin. Puck behind the net. Chance in front. Good chance in front. As Leonard was right there, right in front of the crease, but nothing came of it. Puck tied up in the corner still. The Caps still have it in their zone. Leonard bobbled it in the high slot and then works it down to the circle. Capitals trying to cycle it around. Chychrun lost it there to Dahlin. Dahlin sends it up as Isaac Rozan avoids a check to try to come in on the forecheck, and then he absolutely misses. He absolutely misses Waugh and throws himself against the boards. Waugh dumps it down. Power able to cycle it back up. McLeod tied up, and they're able to get it out to center ice to Tage Thompson, who fumbles the puck away. And then they bring it into Zucker. Zucker carries it to the red line and then across to the circle to Thompson. Thompson brings it around the goal, and he's tied up, continuing to be strong on the puck, and then he just turns it right over to the Capitals. Hendrix LaPerriere brings it out for the Caps. Ovechkin is out there now with LaPerriere and Milano, but they can't do much with it. Goes back to the circle, and the game has kind of bogged down a little bit at center ice. Neither team's able to get a lot of zone time as Carlson smacks it in. 6:32 to go here in the first period. And here come the Sabres trying to break it out with speed as Peyton Krebs. Krebs across the red line. Mallenstein dumps it down low. Krebs gets there, and then pinching Byram sends it back around to Krebs. Krebs back to the point to Kesselring. Kesselring throws it down low. Dunn and Krebs cannot really combine to hem them in, but taken away there by Beck Mallenstein. Krebs follows it to the boards again. He's taken down. Sabres not able to get control of the puck, but they're making the Capitals work really hard to get it out of their zone. And there's another center ice turnover by the Capitals. Krebs picks it up, and he's tied up in the half wall. Byram, I mean, good job. The Sabres fought for everything, but now the Capitals are out. Alexei Protas brings it in the Sabres zone. Protas in the left circle throws it across the way to Van Riemsdyk, who instead of shooting leaves it, and then they have Leonard, who takes a one-time shot from the point. It goes wide. Van Riemsdyk can't control it. McLeod escorts it out to center, where Chychrun picks it up and throws it back. Tuck intercepts it at center, throws it into the offensive zone. Lindgren can't hold it behind the net, and the Sabres are back in on the forecheck with Doan and McLeod. McLeod behind the net, chips it in front. It's controlled by the Capitals, who get it out to, or try to get it out to center ice, but Doan doesn't let them leave the zone cleanly. They have to recycle it back in. Sabres really bringing the good forecheck right now. That is what we've seen when they have been in control of games. Just got to get something off it now. Dahlin has it in the zone to Quinn behind the net. Quinn throws it in front. One-time chance. They didn't get it off his stick, or he did and it went right back to him. Either way, couldn't find the back of the net. There. Isaac Rozan brings it around the offensive zone, sticks it back to the point. Shot goes wide of the goal. Samuelson coming in for a long pinch. He's able to get there as Quinn's able to get control of the puck in the right circle. Now he walks around the zone, goes backhand. They leave it to the point, and now Rozan from the high slot. Shot, rebound, goes wide of the goal. Redirected in, goes through the crease. Dahlin has it now. Very close opportunity for the Sabres there. They're not able to get it to go. Now Quinn in, high slot, down low. Samuelson takes a shot, save made by Lindgren. What a series, what a 3-minute period there for the Sabres. Absolutely. I think that's the best hockey we've seen from the Sabres thus far this season. That was really, really good stuff. 4:05 to go. They head to the break, tied at 2. Yeah, I think veteran leadership, we've talked about this on here before, Gerald. I think veteran leadership would be good for a young team like this because they got to pick up positive playing habits. But I think this group now has enough starch to it that they're able to hold up a little bit more. But as far as getting to the next level, as far as from going to what we are now, which is probably a borderline playoff team, to a just outside the playoff type team. As far as getting to the next level, which would be going into the playoffs and maybe being able to win a playoff series, we would like a little bit more veteran leadership, I would think. But you gotta create a culture that people want to join. We've talked about this too. No veterans really want to come to Buffalo. So you got to create a culture that people want to really take part in. And that's up to the guys here. Yeah. It's one of those things where I think it's if they can get it right, it's going to come in bunches. This is not going to be an easy stretch to do it over, but they're definitely learning how to win. They've taken steps, big steps, because, like, for example, that Boston game, right? If that Boston game had taken place a year or 2 years ago, go down 3-1 after badly outshooting them and outplaying them for most of the game, I think that team folds. But they didn't fold on Thursday. They kept going. They tied the game. They got a point. Even though they didn't win, it showed a lot of growth in my mind. So that's my feeling about it. I think they'll get there. I'm still optimistic about these guys, especially with the acquisitions we made in the offseason. Back to action as Zucker fired a pass to the center of the ice. Thompson had a one-time chance he whiffed on, and then it goes behind the net. Yeah, so it's a chicken and the egg, but if they can establish a culture that looks like it can win, the veterans will come, and then I think we'll be in a really good position. Yeah. Well, we might have had that in kind of, I don't know. Danforth's not really a fourth line character. Danforth is a really big guy for leadership as well, just because he's seen everything throughout his career. Not necessarily at the NHL level, but throughout every stop he's played at. It'll be nice when we can get him back in the lineup as well. Puck is being worked down low. It's tied up at center ice. 13-12 to go in the first period. Capitals bring it in down low. Here is their fourth line, sort of, and they work it back to the point. Chychrun tries to hold it, and he's able to get control of it and send it to Dowd. Dowd is being tied up by Malenstein, taken down by Malenstein, held against the boards by Malenstein, but still able to cycle it back to Chychrun. Caps are being held onto that right side of the ice, but now they get loose to the left side. Shot was blocked down by Malenstein in front of the goal. And the Capitals are back in their own end, reloading, as Wall takes control of the puck behind Lindgren. Score is 2-2. Shots are 8-8. Actually been a very even game thus far. Both teams have had their chances. Both teams have had their good flow of play. The Sabres really did not show up the first 2 minutes, but they got the equalizer, and since then it's been a really even hockey game. Icing is waved off as the Capitals try to bring it out of their own end. The puck is deflected up and out of play. And 2:14 to go, we'll have a face-off. Again, score 2-2, shots 8-8. So, Sabres looking maybe to get a third goal here to end the period, and boy, wouldn't that would be something. That'd be nice. Draw is won by the Sabres, and well, it was initially won by the Sabres, but Tuck lost it right away. I think he tried to take a quick shot that got blocked. Capitals try to bring it into the Buffalo zone with a dump, and it's tied up. Belvier works it back to the point, but it escapes the stick of Chisholm. Chisholm tries to play it forward here, but it gets deflected off his own man, goes back to Van Riemsdyk. Van Riemsdyk throws it to Strome, and the puck goes deep. Strome in on the forecheck. He falls down. Dahlin's able to pick up the puck here for the Sabres, and he brings it across the red line with a pass to Quinn. Quinn battling for it. Quinn's actually been doing a pretty good job of battling for pucks, I've noticed the last few games. It's not translating to much in terms of offense, but he is working, I would say, pretty hard. Rozon able to get the pass forward to Quinn. Quinn leaves it for Rozon. Dangerous chance. He scores! Isaac Rozon! And Buffalo in front 3-2. It's carried over from Rochester. They got Rozon a chance in a dangerous area, and the Sabres are in front. After going down 2-0 early, they've clawed it back and taken the lead. And good for Rozan. It has been such a tough road in the NHL for him when he's had opportunities, but he makes his mark there with a nice shot and a goal. Sabres in front 3-2. An excellent moment for Buffalo there. Got to be happy for the kid. I'm sure that takes a lot of the weight off. He's been playing very well. I was going to talk at the first period about how impressed I'd been with his movement and his willingness to go in and battle. And that's something I was not expecting, but they obviously knew that Rozan had made improvements to his game. I thought maybe just a power play guy based on the numbers coming out of Rochester, but no. Able to make an impact in his first period. Puck tied up down low. Greenway and Zucker holding it. Able to get it to Zucker out front. Lindgren sticks it aside. And Zucker's able to keep it down in the forecheck. Yeah, just keep the forecheck going. Don't let him get a response in before the end of the period. Take this momentum with you. Timmins holds the puck in his own end. Gets it to Power. Power brings it across the red line to Thompson. Thompson takes a shot, goes wide of the goal. It's sticked up. And the Capitals have it with 27 seconds to go here in the first period. Capitals try to bring it down low. They get tied up. Greenway, just a one-man wrecking crew, but the Caps retain possession. Shot comes in from the point, deflects just wide of the goal. Maybe it went off the post. Kesselring, it takes a big shot. Caps keep it in. Carlson able to cycle it down, and a shot comes in. Save made by UPL, and that is the time on the first period. We call time at the end of the first period. The Sabres escape a little bit of pressure there from the Capitals, and we'll go to the intermission with a 3-2 lead. Shots are 10-9. I don't think anyone saw that coming. He's one of the top point scorers. I don't know goals. I'd have to take a look at the AHL. He's tied for the lead in points. At least he was at last check in the AHL. He's definitely one of the top point getters. Let me see, as far as stats here, I just pull up the AHL stats real quick. Yeah, in terms of goals, he is tied for third. But in terms of points, coming into tonight, he was tied for the lead. Now, Heinen from Wilkes-Barre, Danton Heinen from Wilkes-Barre has the lead with 14 points. And as far as goals, two Laval players have 7 goals, so they are the leaders in goals. I think in terms of power play goals, he's the leader. Yeah, 4 power play goals for Rozan. 4 of his 5 goals came on the power play. When he gets into those dangerous positions, he does not make a mistake. It's just a matter of, can he fight for those positions? Can he get put in those positions? So, but very happy for him. Very happy to see that finally work out for him. You know, I think a lot of people had written him off excuse me, after his bad preseason. You know, prospect challenge didn't do anything, preseason didn't do anything, sent down to Rochester. He did a lot. He's done a lot since he got sent down. So good for him. Really good for him. We're going to take a look at some stats here. I just trying to get everything, cycled around here. That was a very good 20 minutes and a good response. And yeah, that's going to be Rozan's first career NHL goal. He's played 15. This is his 16th NHL game. He finally breaks through. So we'll see where he goes from here. But that's really exciting for him. It's been a while, Ben, hasn't it? Yeah, I could see that, Jazadi. That would be good vet presence, and I agree that they'd fit pretty well on the team, the guys you've mentioned there. But yeah, I'm impressed. This team continues to come back when pressed, and that's really, for me, that's what I want. I want teams that aren't going to fold at the first sign of trouble. 2-goal deficit, no problem. We'll get it back. But the fact you take that early punch... Yeah, I was not quite conscious for the glowing puck stuff. But I know it happened. So, but no, it's exciting. I think this team has shown more fight than we could have imagined coming into the year. The Chernobyl puck. I'm just going to pull up try to get a little bit more stat information here. So, thus far in this game, shots are 10-9 Buffalo. We cannot win a face-off. We cannot win a game in the face-off circle. I thought maybe tonight we had a chance. The Caps are not very good on face-offs. They're also near bottom of the league, but they're out face-offing us 57% to 42% right now. Sabres are 8 for 19 on face-offs. For hits, Sabres have 6 hits to the Caps, 5 hits. Blocks are 5-4 in favor of the Caps. Giveaways are 5-4 against the Sabres. Caps have 1 takeaway. Pretty even. I mean, that's about what you would expect to see. That's a pretty even game thus far to this point in time. Around the league, I haven't actually looked very much. Boston beat Carolina this afternoon. That's impressive. Montreal up on Ottawa 2-0 right now. Montreal's really been able to stake their claim as being a really solid team. Toronto tied with Philadelphia at the end of 1. Florida tied with Dallas into the 3rd. Not getting a whole lot of help across the division there. But at some point for the Sabres, you just got to control your fate and win. That's really what it comes down to. That's really, really cool, Gerald. Wow. That's a great story. First junior Sabres team member. I feel like we're in the presence of a little bit of a royalty here. So thank you very much. Thank you, Gerald, for that story. It really puts into perspective, right, how much these teams in these markets mean, you know? I don't know what I'm saying, but good hockey towns are special, right? And the connection gets passed on and passed down through generations, and yeah. Buffalo is a great hockey town, and that's why it's so sad to me that from the outside, nobody recognizes that. They just say, oh, the Sabres are a losing franchise. It doesn't recognize the culture and the tradition and the history that exists in the city. And hopefully when the Sabres are good again, that will be brought back into a more national spotlight. But, Gerald, you're part of the fabric. So that's something to be proud of, I think. Really cool stuff, though. Thanks for sharing that. That's awesome. I wonder if they ever swap out these energy drinks that they put in this intermission. Like, I think is it always the same 3 colors or the same 3 flavors? Does Rise have multiple flavors of energy drinks that they put out there? And if they are putting different colors out there, what's the pattern of colors that are being put and arranged? And should we keep track of it? That's something I might just start doing on my own to see if there is a pattern there. But it's just something. I get random thoughts like that sometimes. It's still wild to me seeing a team sponsored by an energy drink like that directly. I guess it's better than the Capitals, who are sponsored by like 600 defense contractors. Because that's all the industry is down there anymore. So All right, folks. I want to hear an over/under for how many goals you think this game's going to have. Now, this isn't Vegas. You're not going to win any money, but how many goals do you think this game is going to produce for us? We're at 5. So, does anyone have any theories about how many goals we're going to end up with in this game? Not one team, but the collection. Oh, that's wild. Gerald, I'm sure you have so many stories and so many connections. That's awesome. That's really awesome. Wow. Yeah, I can't imagine. Oh, that's awesome too, local. Wow. Everyone has such great stories and connections to the Sabres. That's wonderful. That's absolutely wonderful. But that happens when you're around these teams. These hockey teams are different than other professional sports. I think maybe it's less so now, but in the old days, they weren't that different than anybody else, really. There's much bigger connection. Now it's changed quite a bit, but connection to the players used to be a lot bigger. Yeah, pretty much. It's because they don't make the money and they don't get the attention to the degree that other sports do. And I think social media impact overall has been less than hockey. But I think for the most part, guys are still real. And certainly that's so cool, Gerald. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I imagine for him saying you want out, you're gonna try to hide, stay out of the spotlight, stay away from the media. That makes a lot of sense. You know, I was very fortunate in that, being around the Bears, being around the Hershey Bears so much, and we had some connections with the Bears, and being able to talk, and I've had meals with former Bears players and various things, and being able to talk with some of the guys, and uh, it's just really special. And Hershey is a very special place in terms of its connection with its community as well. Very old American Hockey League team. Everyone, a lot of the players stick around and live there. So I felt very fortunate to be in a community like that for a time in my life. So it's something I very much miss now, but it's something I very much enjoyed when I was younger, for sure. But those towns are special. The towns where the team and the players and everyone has a connection with each other, and it's a special situation. And that's why I always tend to favor small market teams in other sports as well, because I think that can still exist in those markets. But like big market teams, no way. You're never going to see anybody. They're going to be on lockdown the whole time. I think. And a Larry School. Oh, that's awesome. This is really good stuff, Gerald. It's really nice to hear. And local as well, man. This is awesome. See, these are real connections. And I'm really happy you guys are sharing them here, because it's what makes this a special team and a special city. something that the national media is never going to understand. That's awesome. Yeah, hockey players are generally just good guys for the most part. I mean, there's been a lot of stuff as far as hockey culture and the stuff that the kind of groupthink, that stuff that comes out of it can sometimes be bad because a lot of kids working together and so on. But for the most part, the guys who reach the professional level and carry on and have good careers and they're very appreciative for what they have, and they're very appreciative of the fans, and they're very appreciative of the community around them. And the guys who reach the top level, and it's not always the case. There's always bad apples, but a lot of guys tend to be pretty good guys in hockey. They tend to be very generous with their time, very generous to their community, and it's good. Yeah, that's the thing. Like those small market areas like Buffalo and Green Bay as well, like you see the players. Like they are around. The glasses he wore at the local mall just because he was wearing. That's really good. No, I remember just the times that my family would go up to Green Bay sometimes for games to see the Packers, and you just see like I remember Mark Tauscher was an offensive lineman for the Packers. You just see him driving the car like he was driving next to us on the road. Just hey, it's Mark Tauscher. So, like, it's very typical. You go to the grocery store, you're going to bump into guys. Like, but it's normal. The players are actually part of a community. They're working, they're not, like, they are celebrities and they are stars, but they're also just doing a job like everyone else in town. It's just a different mindset than, like, in New York or something where you, like, have that situation. That's awesome. And yeah, congrats to your father for hitting a hole-in-one at a golf tournament. Your father was some kind of clutch to be able to do that. Yeah, that's the thing with the small market towns. They're used to these guys coming out and being around. So pretty good stuff. We're going to be getting back to action, I think, before 2. I don't actually know how much time's left because I took it down. I took the game center down. Oh, yeah, we're about to come back to action here. Players are coming back out on the ice, so really appreciate the stories, guys. You want to keep them going. I'm all for that. You're going to bump into these guys on the golf course, that's for sure. All right. Well, hey, we're about to get back to hockey here. Sabres are coming back out, doing the fist bumps, doing all the joy that they do before the period starts. And this is it. I mean, oh, really? Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. A lot of respect for good golfers because golf is hard. I agree, Josh, in a lot of respects. Yeah, the second goal, especially the first goal, okay, like there was a rebound offensive zone. Yeah, Sabres just were not ready for this to play. They didn't wait. They were asleep. But finding a way to respond and getting that first goal, and that's good. Good on Thompson for getting that first goal. Good on for that line for generating a goal. Capitals made a mistake giving up that first goal because they gave Thompson way too much space in a really dangerous part of the ice. So I would say, and then that second Alex Tuck goal, absolutely beautiful work. Nice pass by Doan, and then Tuck just good strength to keep hold of that puck and lug it in and score with it. And then you have the Isaac Rozan goal to close out the period. So it's going to be tough to say where do the Sabres go from here, right? Because that first period was very very even. But it could go either way. I think it's going to come down to goaltending. It's going to come down to who can make the save. Obviously, Lindgren, not great, not a great goalie, really. Definitive backup goalie in this league. UPL, obviously struggling to start the year. So I think whichever goalie finds their footing first, that team is going to have a major advantage in this game. We are back underway in the second period as the Capitals send the puck down ice. And they call icing, even though the Caps look like they won the race. They called icing. So we'll get a face-off back down in the Cap zone to start things off. Yeah, they did close that period out. They had that excellent 3-minute run. The Caps did get a little bit of pushback at the end, which gives me a little bit of pause. Draw is won there by, well, it was won back by the Capitals, but the Sabres were able to get on it and tie it up behind the net. Dahlin pinches, puck goes around here. Malenstein chases it around the zone, throws his body into Fairharvey, and they have it tied up on the half wall. Krebs tries to chase it down. He's able to get a stick on it, make it tough for the Caps to break it out. Sabres turn it back. Dunn overskates Carlson a little bit, who pushes up the play. And they go to the net. Shot goes high over Luukkonen and out of play. 19-19 to go here in the second. 3-2 Buffalo in front. Sabres have done a pretty good job keeping Protas McMichael, that top line, tied down. Obviously, Wilson getting him his butt kicked out of the game for a while didn't help either. Yeah, well, the Sabres are the team that maybe other teams have big moments against, right? But thus far, they've done a pretty good job containing the Caps. The problem is with Ovi, he just finds goals, obviously. Puck is behind the net now. Kind of a little bit of a dangerous opportunity, you might say, in front there. But Belvier had a poke at it. But now the puck's out to center. And the Capitals are trying to find a way to work it into the zone, but they turn it over. Sabres try to skate it in here. Leaves. Shot goes wide of the goal for Kulik. And now Greenway is trying to tie things up behind the net, and they're able to force a turnover. The puck gets thrown back down low. Greenway decides to go for the change instead of make a play on it. Now the Caps try to bring it out, but they hit it a little too hard. Kesselring is able to reposition and throw the puck to his partner Byram behind Luukkonen. And now Sabres try to work it up the other side with Kulik. The puck goes behind the net here. Rozan is out there now with Kulik, and I believe that was... Oh, it's turnover. Rozan has it, throws it to Quinn. Quinn loses it a little bit, and now the puck is at the blue line where the Capitals take it out of the zone. So the puck goes to the point, and it's put down low. Sabres trying to tie up a little bit behind the net. Capitals doing a good job shielding the puck from the Sabres so far on this particular shift. As the shot comes in, it goes wide. Van Riemsdyk at the top of the circle has it. He has his back to the goal. As the Caps work it down the other side. You get a lot of zone time here, but not a lot of chances. There they have a chance in front. Save by Luukkonen. Rebound. Can't find it. Now he covers it up. Caps will do that to you. They'll lull you to sleep with a lot of empty zone time, and then they'll sneak a guy in and get a shot. It's the exact type of offense the Sabres do not do very well when they face it. Sort of in front. LaPerriere shot. Good work there by the Capitals trying to generate a chance there on Luukkonen, but he stood tall to the challenge and was able to see it off. Yeah, that's true. And when Ovi starts to physically get into the game, he becomes a different player. And especially as his career has advanced, he falls asleep more often, but you can wake him up easily as well. And he also has a big clutch factor as well that you got to be careful of. Shot comes in from Samuelsson. It's held by Lindgren. The Sabres are on the board here in the period as far as shots. 16:56 to go in the second. Sabres in front 3-2. Shots 12-11 in favor of the Caps. Sabres going to be looking for that fourth goal here. Going up by 2 would be big. They have played well, but the Capitals have started off this period with the zone time playing a little bit better, you'd have to say. The Sabres need to have a shift where they can kind of establish themselves in this period. Tuck ties up. Dahlin is that Dahlin? Maybe he's down really low. And they get it in front here. Doan, a chance in front. Oh, great chance. Lindgren had gone down. Doan couldn't quite get it elevated, and did not find the back of the net, but pretty good opportunity. Dahlin across ice. And then leaves it for Tuck in the circle. Tuck spins away. Puck is behind the net now where Doan gets it. Leaves it for McLeod. McLeod hits it forward. The Capitals are trying very desperately to get control, and they do. And now it's a 2-on-1 back the other way. They caught Dahlin pinching shot off the post. Maybe the inside of the post. Sabres coming back the other way with Doan. And believe they're going to stop play there. Maybe a penalty forthcoming, but Doan had a tremendous chance in front. He beat Karlsson, and then Karlsson was able to get his stick down at the last minute to deflect it to the wall. And then on the other side, the Capitals just ring one off the post, beating Luukkonen glove side. Actually, Luukkonen's positioning on that was not very good. Probably easily could have been a goal. Fortunately, it was not. Sabres going to have to tighten things up a little bit defensively. They just caught, really, Dahlin was in a pinch situation, and the Caps were able to work the puck out quickly. You got to be super careful with the Capitals. They're always looking to do that. They're always aware of when you pinch. So you just got to be a bit smarter and pick your spots a bit better. Icing was called on the Capitals, so with 16:04 to go in the second, the Sabres will have another face-off down in the Washington end. It is the fourth line out there, with Krebs, Dunn, and Malenstein. Puck is taken to the back wall by the Sabres and then cycled back to Power, who loses the puck. Timmins has control, hits it forward to Krebs, who throws it across the red line, and it goes down low. Malenstein going to try to tie up play. He does, diving to the net, chance in front off the crossbar, I believe, as Krebs had a good chance in front. That's the fourth line again, generating a pretty good opportunity, but not quite being able to score on it. And now Dunn and Krebs have the puck tied up behind Lindgren. The Capitals are able to win it out, and they try to bring it up ice, but good stick work there by Krebs makes it a little more difficult. Van Riemsdyk circles at center, tries to find a way through, and he just ends up giving it to Power, who takes it behind Luukkonen. And the Sabres are going to try to reset their offense here. 15:13 to go in the second period. Byram throwing it up ice. Greenway chips it back for Tage Thompson, and the puck is lost as they cross the blue line back to Kesselring. Kesselring, puck is chopped down by the Capitals again for another icing. The Capitals are having a bit of an icing parade right now. 14:55 to go in the second. Mother Russia makes you strong. Russian machine never breaks, right? That is the whole Ovi mantra. That's a good insight there, Jay. If I had sound, I could tell you if it was that, but I've not heard that before. That's pretty good insight. Puck is played in the front of the goal here. Thompson bringing it up ice. Shields the puck from a Capital, now brings it across the red line, and he dumps it down. Goes behind the net. Chychrun gets there, sticks it up and away are the Capitals, but they're not away very far as Samuelson's able to stick it away, and the Sabres are able to regain possession in their own end. I do like how the Sabres have spent time regrouping from time to time. They're not just trying to throw the puck up ice blindly. They're taking a few seconds to compose themselves, and it's letting them get deeper up ice, which is making it harder for the Capitals to come back as swiftly. Capitals have it in the Sabres zone now. Duheim throws it back to the point. Shot comes in. It's held by Luukkonen, and that will stop play. 13:53 to go. Shots are even at 13 apiece. Sabres in front 3-2 here in the second. Clunk sound is you got to look for that rebound after you hear that. Because the goalie's going to be stunned. Going to be interesting to see where we go now for the rest of this period. Capitals have looked much stronger, really, to start things off here. I think it's been a really impressive start of the period for Washington. I think they have had the better of it so far, which is to be expected. You just got to be really careful with the Caps. They're so opportunistic. They will find ways to get in good positions. They're really good at playing defense, and they're really good at finding opportunities when you make mistakes, as I said. So it's a thing for the Sabres where they just have to avoid the mistakes. Take a little extra time if you can. Don't make bad passes. Don't blindly throw passes in front. We saw at the start of the game, when you make mistakes, they will take advantage of it. You'd really like to get that next goal if you're Buffalo, because I don't know how much we trust UPL with a 1-goal lead right now. He has not looked great so far tonight, I'd say. He hasn't been awful. It's honestly very similar to what I think we saw in the first game. The second goal, not his fault. The first goal, bad rebound. But he also hasn't made any saves that you're like, wow, that was a great save. On the other hand, Lindgren has made one really nice glove save. And I think the goals that have gotten past him have not really been so much on him, just the Sabres getting to good position and executing. Back to action here. 13:47 to go in the second. Power works the puck behind the net to Timmins, who shoulders a check, brings it up ice. There's a kind of a takedown going on, and they are going to call a penalty on Tuck. Tuck doesn't like it. Fairharvey's like, yeah, well, you deserve it. Tuck can't believe it. He's on his way to the box. They were tied up at center ice, and it looks like Fairharvey grabbed onto Tuck and brought him down, but they're going to call Tuck for that. Without seeing the full play, it's tough to tell who made the initial contact. It could have just been they ran together. But regardless of the case, I'm not sure how to say your name. I guess I'm going to call you, if Mutt is okay. Hi, Mutt. Welcome in. Thanks for joining. Sabres have to kill off this power play. Samuelson with the deflection, or the block. Puck goes out of the zone. Tuck is serving 2 minutes for interference. Capitals are on their first power play of the night. Sabres bringing their number 2 penalty kill in against a bottom-tier power play unit, but it doesn't mean a whole heck of a lot if the puck goes to the back of the net. Caps are ranked 24th in the league, 16.7% on the power play. Sabres, 89.5% on the kill, which is second. Minute 25 to go here. Caps bring it up ice. They cross the red line. They get it to Tom Wilson, who's finally back from his long stay in the purgatory of the penalty box. And the Caps work it down low. Shot in front. That may have hit the bar or the post. Ovechkin working it around the zone. Throws it to Carlson. Carlson down low. Sabres look a step behind here. Chance in front. Save made. UPL rebound chance. Stopped by UPL. Puck goes behind the net. Wilson sends it back to Carlson. Now Carlson takes a shot. Deflected in front. And it's cleared ultimately by the Sabres. A very good clearance. 43 seconds to go here on the power play. Washington had some good chances. But the Sabres were able to keep it out. UPL did very well in that sequence there, you got to say. 12:10 to go here. Caps just try to bulldog their way into the zone. Sonny Milano just threw the body in, but ultimately fell down and lost the puck. Puck is cleared out by Buffalo. 12 minutes to go here in the second. And the puck is being brought up here by Van Riemsdyk for the Capitals. He drops it back to try to hit the line with speed as it is brought in by Leonard. They work it back to Ovechkin at the point. Ovechkin turns it over, and it's almost a 2-on-1 opportunity, but Ovechkin very smartly plays it back to his defenseman, to Chisholm. The penalty is killed. 11:35 to go in the second. Good work by the Sabres penalty kill there. Capitals generated 1 or 2 quality chances, but they were seen off. And now there's a turnover. Tage Thompson brings it into the offensive zone. In the high slot, surrounded by 4 Capitals. He had no chance, and now they got to get back. 2-on-1 potentially developing as the puck goes to the goal. Down low, chance in front. It goes through the crease, got it under Luukkonen. Fortunately, there was nobody there to follow it up. Capital wipes himself out. That was a really dangerous opportunity there. Now the Capitals have possession of the puck. They bring it up ice again to the red line. They're hitting with a lot of speed right now. Capitals would have seemed to have clawed the momentum and flow back in this game. They work it in from the points, getting in, pass across. It's lost. They try to work it around the net. A lot of good deflective work in front by the Sabres. Luukkonen having trouble seeing it. Another chance where the puck squirts through the crease to an open net. Not a lot of puck control happening right now on any side of the Sabres, from the forwards to the defenseman to the goaltender. Capitals still working it in the zone. High slot chances deflected away by Kulich. And there's deflection by Kulich. They're able to get it across the blue line. Caps still have possession, but they'll have to reset. Sabres get a half change, not a whole change. And the puck is worked down yet again. Someone needs to get control of the puck. Fortunately, Doan's there to save the day. McLeod gets it out across the center ice, but no more. The Caps take a slapper back and rebound chance in front. Oh my goodness. Luukkonen's able to stop that rebound. None of the defensemen went for it. Luukkonen left all by himself to deal with that rebound chance. Now Tuck's able to bring it down. Capitals are buzzing right now, you have to say. Under 10 minutes to go here in the second period. 3-2 the score. Buffalo. Caps have really turned it on the last few minutes here. They bring it in the zone yet again. They try to find Carlson, but it hit his skate and bounds away. 3-on-2 opportunity here for the Sabres. Left for Power. Power backhand chance goes wide of the goal. Roseanne able to stick it, and then he loses it to Carlson, but gets it back. Krebs is out there with Dunn. Roseanne is probably going to need to get off. Power brings it in from the slot. Shot, rebound goes wide of the goal. Kesselring has it in a pinch situation. Roseanne has it, able to get it back to Kesselring, who retreats to the high slot. And now he holds it at the point. Power has it. He tries to skate to the center point. And then Krebs throws it to center point to Kesselring, who's looking for a chance. They get it high circle, cycling it back to the center point. Kesselring is able to stick it down low. Krebs is there. And now Krebs finds Owen Power. Power, good puck possession here for the Sabres. Gets it to Kesselring. Kesselring bobbles it a little bit. He's able to stick it down on the backhand to Dunn, who ties up behind the net with Duheim. And then Krebs is able to get control of it, throws it back to the point to Kesselring. Lots of zone time, not a lot of action. Kesselring to Zucker. Zucker shot deflected wide of the goal. Kesselring picks it back up. Kesselring has been everywhere on the ice right now. Samuelson, a shot save made by Lindgren, will get a stoppage. Really, really a lot of zone time for the Sabres there. And Michael Kesselring, wow. You got to give Kesselring all the credit in the world. He was all over that shift. And Roseanne as well, sticking his stick in there to get control of the puck in several situations, making it difficult for the Caps to get possession. Yeah, it's more impressive, Gerald, if they can hit the post than if they can hit the net in a lot of cases. And also, I want to go back to that UPL play. We said they left the guy to walk in all alone. Byron was able to kind of just get his stick on the guy, which prevented a good shot opportunity. So Bowen Byron points for the recovery there as well. Sabres looked like they're holding on for dear life, but then they got a bit of a shift of their own. Really been a nice back and forth affair in this one. Both teams have generated a lot of opportunities at various times, but nobody's cashed in since the first period. I think the Sabres have had 2 shifts tonight where they've had zone time for 2 or 3 minutes at a time, which we haven't seen at any point this season. Again, you're seeing trends. You're seeing this whole thing trend in kind of the right direction, right? Like, gradually, you're seeing a bit of a development in the way that they're playing. They're getting better and better. And it's really nice to see. I mean, that's all you can really say for it. Is it's nice to see this team every game doing something that they couldn't do the previous game. And I mean, we truly started this season at the bottom. Like, go back to game 1, game 2, game 3. The only way to go was up. But they've been able to maintain that in a consistent direction. The only thing missing right now for this team is wins. You just got to find ways to win. Everything else is there. All right. Well, Sabres going back to work. 8:25 to go in the second. Shots are 17-13 in favor of the Capitals, but the scoreboard reads 3-2 in favor of Buffalo. Draw is 1. I guess you'd say that's a win. Greenway got it. He went down. Puck is controlled now by the Capitals behind the net. And they try to work it out of the zone. Sabres' first line is out there. Bowen Byram takes a bit of a shove from McMichael. McMichael has a good chance in front. Tom Wilson coming in as well. Protas. And the Capitals able to get it around. Tom Wilson tied up by Zucker and Byram. And there's also Greenway right there. Got to be aware where everyone is. Greenway's able to win the puck battle away and shield it from Wilson. They throw it around the zone. Timmins is there on the other side. And the Sabres are able to work it out. Zucker and Greenway working it up ice. And there they find Tage Thompson. Makes a man miss. Throws it in front of the goal. Greenway blasts a Capital. That's blasted Tom Wilson to the ice there. Big hit. Nice to see. Anytime you can see someone blast Tom Wilson, it's pretty enjoyable. Luukkonen sticks the puck to the corner here. Puck is loose in the middle of the ice. Dangerous chance for Ovechkin, and it is sticked away or saved away. Luukkonen and Samuelsson were there. That is not someone you want to have walking in on you. Just not, again, great positioning on the part of the Sabres, allowing a pretty solid chance, but they're able to see it off in the end. Puck to center. Samuelsson throws it back into the zone. Puck is tied up a bit. Tuck has it left of the circle. And the Capitals with Ovechkin bring it out across the red line, dump it down. Milano in on the forecheck. Luukkonen needs to be more aware of him. He was not turnover in front because of that. But the Sabres once again are able to stick it away. Too many plays loose in front. Isaac Rozan brings it in. Shot save made by Lindgren. Right now the Sabres are just allowing too many just potential shots in front. They've been able to recover every time, but they're living very dangerously right now, you have to say. Chychrun behind the net is getting forechecked hard here by a combination of Quinn and Kulik. And Rozan out there as well. Kulik and Quinn are not able to force the turnover. However, the puck goes down. Carlson leading the charge for the Capitals. Power dumps it behind. And the puck goes up ice across the red line where Quinn is able to touch it but not get it deep. The Caps have to take it into their own end. They try to chip it up. Power takes control. They go to the other side. Krebs now in, has a bit of position. He's turned around. You have to say that's a hook probably on Leonard, right? Leonard just turned Krebs around with his stick, and I believe he's going to the box for a 2-minute minor. Sabres should be going to the power play. Rozan has been different, I gotta say. He's never going to be good at the physical stuff. He's never going to be good at going to the net. It's not going to be his forte. He's going to be a guy who wants to hang back and get his high slot, high circle shots and score goals from his office. But if he can just do a little bit more, and he's done that tonight, give a little bit of a token effort in that area, he becomes playable at the NHL level probably, if he can find ways to score consistently. Yeah, UPL did a good job scrambling there. Ovechkin is not actually that great on scramble plays. You might say, well, he's the best goal scorer of all time, and he is. But he much prefers breakaways or set plays. Plays where he suddenly finds himself in possession of the puck, he's not actually that great at finishing. Yeah, Josati, I'm very appreciative of Rozon. The couple times he's gotten his stick in there, it's different. The message has gotten through to somebody. You compare Rozon at this point to, we just had the Noah Austin call up. You compare what Rozon has been able to do in terms of flashing, even without the goal, to what Austin had not been able to do. You got to say Rozon has the nod in that particular category. Yeah, yes, he does, Local. Yes, he does. I think you can just see in the game and a half that he's been back, Greenway brings a lot to this team. In terms of sustaining, he's kind of what we've needed in order to bring forth a kind of sustained effort. And you gotta like it. You gotta like what we've seen so far out of him. I like what I've seen out of everyone so far. They're showing the penalty here. It's definitely a hook. I mean, Leonard just got his stick stuck in Krebs' body. It happens. Turned him around. Sabres to the power play, looking for that fourth goal and for a 2-goal lead, which would be desperately needed against a team like the Capitals, who can always, even though they're a bit snake bit right now, they can always find the back of the net anytime. So you'd like a insurance marker. Dahlin throwing it back to Thompson. Rozon out there as well. Thompson, Zucker, Rozon are the forwards, with Dahlin, and on the other side is Doan. So they're going full offense here. Zucker has it, throws it, high slot, leave for Thompson, save is made. Oh man, you're not going to get a much better look than that. I actually would have liked to have seen the guy who had the puck in the high slot taken instead of leaving it for Thompson, because they wouldn't have expected that. They expect the Thompson leave. Goalies are cheating for the Thompson leave. Of course you want Thompson to take those shots, but if you can get another guy who can score, you have danger. Shot in there from Doan. He follows it to the back wall. Sabres are able to get it to Dahlin. Dahlin tries to throw it forward. That's going to be my first minus for Rozon. I would have liked to have seen him be a little more aggressive with the puck there. Shot went off Luukkonen, and he couldn't find it. Puck goes out to center, and Zucker brings it in. Rozon made Dahlin have to make a very tough play there because he did not just take control of the puck. He was waiting for something to happen. That's just a case probably of being on a new power play unit for him. I mean, he's already on the top unit. That's impressive in and of itself. But you would have liked to see him get his stick in there a little bit more. Nice little fake little acting job by McMichael there as Owen Power dumps the puck down. 14 seconds to go on the power play. It has not been a particularly threatening power play, but they have gotten a couple chances. Owen Power steps up, down low to Tuck. Tuck back to the point, and they go to the other circle. Shot is saved and seen off there by Lindgren. The Capitals work it out to center, and now coming back the other way are the Caps, now back at even strength. 3:30 to go in the period. Puck deflects to the opposite circle, and now it's settled down. And now they get it to Ovi at the circle. He tries to take a shot, which is blocked by Tuck. He leaves it for Strome, and then a shot comes in gloved by Luukkonen, and that will stop play with 3:15 to go in the second. Sabres in front 3-2. Shots are 18-16 in favor of Washington. Yeah, I agree. Sometimes I think we're a little bit unselfish out there, and not enough guys have a killer instinct. And, that's what we sometimes talk about Thompson only seeking goals and only seeking shots, same with Dahlin. But it's also sometimes because other guys are not willing to take a chance as well. I think that would help take pressure off the big guns if some other guys were more willing to make that effort. Save made by Luukkonen, a very impressive save. He was a little bit over-aggressive, but he was able to get the blocker on it. Krebs is able to stick it or try to stick it. It goes into the bench. And with 2:48 to go in the second, it's still 3-2 Sabres. Caps outshooting the Sabres 20-16. Oh, that is a thought. Jason Dickinson's a thought from the Blackhawks. I mean, it all depends what you're willing to move and who's willing to buy. But that's another name that could be good for the Sabres. There's a lot of guys who I think could fit in with this team if you're really trying to go for the whole glue mentality, which I think we are. There have been a lot of names bandied about in the last couple of days as the trade rumors have intensified about certain players. And chance in front here, rebound opportunity. Zucker had a good wraparound chance, and he had a rebound on the wraparound. Now he wins the battle in front. The puck is still loose. Nobody can follow it up, though. Zucker, one-man army down low right now as he ties up again. Thompson is there. The puck is cleared by the Capitals, but Jason Zucker by himself generates a whale of an offensive chance, very close to making it a 4-2 game. Sabres bring the puck back into the zone here. 2 minutes even to go in the second. Down low opportunity coming as the Caps clear the zone. And that's going to be icing on Washington. 1:50 to go here in the second. Josh Doan is a special guy. Again, that's why pedigree is important as long as you have the talent to back it up. Yeah, that's true, Gerald, as well. It's like when you compare like a chess grandmaster versus just your club chess player. Your grandmaster can see the whole game play out in front of him. The club player is fine, but he can't see more than a couple moves ahead, so he's always playing in the moment. And that's a bit of a side shot there on McLeod. Benson does have vision. Benson needs to get healthy. I think that's what everyone's hoping for. Carlson tries to take a really big whack at the puck, but he breaks his stick and has to get a new one. 1:18 to go here in the period. Power, little give to Quinn as they go across. Roseanne, everyone just kind of struggled there. Roseanne tries to lay a check on, I believe that was a Capital, and it was good enough to delay the play and give the Sabres a chance to keep the puck in the zone. Good on him for trying to throw the body around. That's the equivalent of a stuffed animal hitting an elephant, but at least he tried. Puck left here to the point. Shot comes in. Rebound chance in front as Kulik loses his stick. Repossession out front, and that's in the back of the net. Puck is in the net. Washington has tied this game. It looked like a harmless shot from the point. We'll have to see what happened, but it beats Luukkonen, and the game is tied at 3 with 42.6 to go in the period. Very, very unfortunate turn of events there. You felt maybe something like that was coming. There's just been too many pucks that the Sabres haven't been able to control real well. Luukkonen is very screened, and it took a deflection in front off of either Samuelson or LaPerriere. One more time. Oh, it was deflected down by Milano. That's what got it. So Milano got the deflection. Luukkonen was very screened. I'm not going to put that on him so much as I'm going to have to put that on Isaac Rozan not defending the high slot there. Kind of Byram, and Byram's going to have probably taken a penalty there for a shove to the face of Leonard. Byram and Samuelson had their guys tied up. Milano was in kind of a center slot position there in the house, and just Rozan didn't do anything to try to tie his stick up. So, look, Rozan had the goal, but defensively he still has a lot of work to do. I think that's not overstating the case. So he's even for the game. So we have 3-3 is the score. There's two guys in the box. Byram's in the box. And maybe that is Leonard in the box for the Capitals. So Byram and Leonard are in the box after their little conflict. Capitals have tied this game at 3 with 42 seconds to go in the second period. It's tough, but you have to say the Capitals have probably had the better of this period. Yeah, Leonard, no need to do that. That's poor sportsmanship on Leonard's part, just kind of screaming in Byram's face for no reason. Of course Byram's going to punch him in the face. I think it's a deserved 4-on-4, having seen that now. So 4-on-4, 32 seconds to go in the second. Caps are offsides, and they will reset the play. Unfortunate to give up the goal there. The Sabres are still very much in this game, but looking at the shot numbers, this game is more so trending in the Capitals' direction, I would say. So roughing and embellishment are the calls. Embellishment is... I don't know if embellishment is what I would have called there. I probably would have called... Because that was a pretty hard shove to the face. I probably would have called unsportsmanlike, followed by roughing. But if you want to do embellishment, the result's the same. Puck is back out across the red line. Capitals try to reset 4-on-4 play here, and we'll be 4-on-4 to start the third period as the second ends. Score is 3-3 tie. Washington has 24 shots. Buffalo has 17 shots as we go to the second intermission. Not how you want to end the period. And we're kind of in the danger zone. It's 3-3. If there's no goals in the... I don't know what I'm doing with the typing there. If there's no goals in the third period, we're going to be going to overtime tied at 3. That has not been a happy place for the Sabres this year. You can smell the 4-3 loss from here. But yeah, the Capitals just... Sabres had one really good sequence in that period, but the rest of it, for the most part, was all Capitals. And Capitals are unsettling the Sabres in their offensive zone. The Sabres are having a hard time finding pucks in order to get rid of it. You hate for the period to end like that, for sure. Take a look at some statistics here for this game thus far. Obviously, shots are 24-17 in favor of the Caps. Hey, faceoffs are even right now. We have a chance to win a game in the faceoff circle. That has not happened this year. The best we ever did was we tied that game against Florida. We were 50-50. We're 50-50 here against the Caps. Penalty minutes are 23 to the Caps, mostly because of Tom Wilson, 11 for the Sabres. Hits are 16-15 in favor of the Caps. Block shots are 9-9 even. Giveaways are 11-10 against the Caps right now. Sabres have 2 takeaways. You know, it's impossible to say how much Norris is being missed because he's played, three games in a Sabres uniform? But based on what we saw in the preseason, I think Thompson would have gotten going a lot sooner if Norris had been healthy or had been able to be healthy at the start of the year there. Trying to move the second intermission around, and I'm ended up just moving the box around. I have some trouble. I have a lot of technical difficulties most of the time with this. Go around the league a little bit here. Let's look at some, I would say out-of-town scores, but who's even in town anymore? We're on the internet. There is no town. The whole thing's a town. Out-of-town scores, the Maple Leafs have taken a 3-1 lead over Philadelphia with 1:30 to go in the second. Montreal leads Ottawa 2-1 at basically the end of the second period. Florida was able to defeat Dallas in a shootout, so not any help coming in the division. Boston won earlier against Carolina. So everyone in the division is winning, except for, of course, Ottawa, who is locked in with Montreal. No, I don't think there's any way that Norris would hurt this team being out there. I'm using Streamlabs, OBS Streamlabs to stream. And then it just gets put onto the YouTube. It's one I have a little bit of experience with. That's the only reason I'm using it now. Because back in the day, I did a little bit of a speed running for video games. So back in the day, I did some speed running, and I put some streams out there back in the day, a long time ago. This is not my proudest life moment, but I was not very good at it. Eric Anthony, are you coming in for the about the Norris injury? Is that what we're not supposed to get you started about, or is it the game in general? Eric, I always enjoy your thoughts. I always enjoy your passion very, very much. Yeah, that might be a way to get UPL moved. Is you might have to package him with someone else, because by himself, I just don't think. By himself, I just don't really think it's going to be very easy to move UPL unless he starts putting up outstanding numbers, just because of the contract. But we'll see where it goes. The Sabres are going to have to do something with the goalie position. They have 6 goalies between Buffalo and Rochester, and they have Retzlaff down in Jacksonville as well. So they have 7 talented goalies in this organization. Hey, White Rose, welcome in. There is a strike against Monumental Sports. Is that just because what is going on with that? I'm not, I used to be up in the cap stuff, but what is going on with is it just because Monumental has control of everything and they don't let their games out to any other networks? Like, always happy to have folks in here. I grew up in the DC area, so I was a Capitals fan, I guess you'd say. Not really. I've never been a Capitals fan, but I know about the Capitals. I was a Hershey Bears fan, which kind of contributed to me following the Capitals a lot when our guys went up. But took the Avs to Sabres route. They knew it, too. Okay, nobody wants to make a deal with Monumental, so, you'd think the NHL would step in and try to get that done. I've noticed that Monumental is treated a bit differently than other networks. I just don't know a whole lot about it. Since I'm not in the area anymore, I don't follow it so much. Makes you yearn for the old days of a Comcast Sportsnet. That was a time. Everyone had a Comcast Sportsnet. Everyone was on Comcast Sportsnet. It was a good. Those were good days. I don't know what it is about the Baltimore DC area, and all the teams there trying to have their own TV networks. Like the Orioles did it with Masson. And, of course, the Capitals are doing it with Monumental, and I guess the Wizards as well, right? So it's just... It's not... I don't think it's great when team ownership is involved with the TV rights. I think it makes it much harder because they tend to overvalue their TV rights, and that makes it much harder for anyone to buy into those rights. Yeah, Billy Bob Doan is a. I don't know. I was very high on Doan when he got brought in, but he has been very, very good. Yeah, Gerald, you have a different perspective on all of it there. Yeah, it's all about money, right? You have a different perspective on that. No snow. Yeah. And you'd only get the one. You'd only probably get like the one game, and you just had to hope. Well, that's the game you got. Now, like with the internet and technology and everything, you can watch everything. It's just becoming more and more difficult to watch anything because there's so many separate TV rights deals being made, so many individual TV rights deals being made. It's just frustrating. I feel bad for people who are Yankees fans. I mean, I never feel bad for Yankees fans, but Yankees fans have a heck of a time because between the national networks, the regional sports network, the fact they're always on national TV on a different network, you have to have like 6 different subscriptions just to watch all if you want to watch all the Yankees games. The Orioles don't have that problem because they're the Orioles. And everything logs you out. Yeah, nobody remembers who you are. That's a problem as well. The international folks living internationally have it much better. They get basically everything centralized to one platform, and they can watch everything from there. If you want to be a sports fan, the way to do it is to go international and go to a country that has a much more, like just one online network. Like DAZN is really big in a lot of countries just for having, you can get all the access. But they have their own problems. Josh, I can attest to that too. I don't know what it is now, but I spend more time at work putting passwords in than I do almost anything else. Well, I don't like to use the term. We don't use the term old because age is just a number, and we're all older than we used to be. And we're all going to get there one day, God willing. So we're just all going along here. Yeah, I agree, Sean. Back to back to back to back overtime losses would be just crushing. Right? All Sabres fans have automatically been aged about 10 years just from their contact with the team. I will say this, though. You know, growing up in the D.C. area, being around a lot of Capitals fans, it's a different kind of pain when your team always makes the playoffs and always, almost with the exception of 1 year, finds a way to fail out in the playoffs. Up until that cup run they had against... up until that cup run they had against Vegas in 2017-2018, the Capitals were a very, very heartbreaking team for anyone who followed them. So I give Capitals fans a lot of credit. It's a different kind of pain than what we've experienced as Sabres fans. God. You've really seen it all in a lot of respects, Gerald. You've seen it all as far as Sabres hockey. So we really appreciate your presence in here. Yeah, but that's okay. I know there's probably some DC folks in here, but I'm a Baltimore guy in terms of baseball and in terms of growing up. Not football, not hockey, but I don't like DC sports very much. I feel like there's a lot of bandwagoners in the DC sports group, and Mossy, you're from down there, so you understand it. When their teams are good, they're all out of the woodwork. They're unstoppable. The teams are going to beat everybody. And then when their teams are bad, they just cycle to whichever team is good in that community, be it the Nats, be it the Wizards, be it the Capitals, be it DC United. They just find a new team. They very rarely stick to all of them. Oh, that is a classic, Gerald. The fog game. I've seen it. They used to on NHL Network back in the day. They used to play all the old historic games, and they used to talk about old historic series, and I was addicted to watching those. And that's one of the ones that came up a lot because it's very visually stunning. Yeah, it's when you're a collection of teams. Now, most people do cheer for all the teams in their own market. It's tough. Yeah, that's right. The Blue Jays. There's a Game 7 of the World Series tonight, right now. So that is happening. Right now, it's looking okay for the Jays. So early yet. Still only the third inning, but Jays are on top right now. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, look, it's been a tough ride for Sabres fans, but if you've been able to experience the whole thing, I don't know, Gerald. Like, is it hard? Is it harder? Do you think it's harder to have experienced the good times with the Sabres and now being where we are now? Or would you think it's worse to just be like someone who's never experienced any success with the Sabres? Oh, there you go, local. Yeah, the goalie position has changed a lot. That is unquestioned. Now, I always think it's interesting when your combination of teams, they're all bad or you have one good, but you stick with them no matter what. Okay. So Sean was there for the loss to Dallas in the Cup final. I mean, I've been real late to the party with the Sabres. I started following when I was in junior high school, 2005, 2006, when the Hershey Bears changed their affiliation. I needed a new team, so I went with the Sabres. So I was there for those playoff runs there in the mid 2000s, and then a little bit the last ones we got there at the turn of the decade, and then it's been tough from then on. Yeah, Josh. So Josh, we're kind of in the same generation there with the 0506. That's your introduction, and then it goes from there. Yeah, and then Mossy, you have the history of you haven't seen a playoff series with these guys. So yeah, we're all a collection of different folks, but we all. It's interesting when the generations come together as we do here. We all have different perspectives about it. We all have different feelings, and we've all seen different things. I hope one day we'll all be able to get to the postseason together, and we'll all be able to enjoy it like our best memories of the Sabres. That's going to be ideal. Yeah, it's going to be special. I can't imagine. We may and we may not. Hey, I try to stay positive. This team, I think, has shown flashes of what they can be, and I think this team can be a playoff team. I just think they're not quite there because they need to figure out how to win. I cannot imagine. Yeah, I cannot imagine that no goal. that is. It's also part of what that like knowing the history just makes me even more though of a Sabres fan. Knowing the heartbreak that precedes success, because there's no better story than when you can turn generations of heartbreak, years of heartbreak, into victory, into success. And that's what we're going to get, I hope, from the Sabres in the near future. For now, we're just trying to stop a 3-game overtime losing streak as the game has restarted. 19:50 to go in the third. Here come the Sabres. Shot comes in, and it deflects up and back down onto the ice. 4-on-4 for another minute here, as Byram and Leonard are serving minor penalties. The Sabres did not have the better of the play, I would say, in that last period. The Capitals kind of were taking it to them and were doing typical Capitals things, being opportunistic and generating chances off the rush and then finding opportunities on bad bounces. Timmins here works it around. Shot comes in. It was a low percentage shot from Thompson. It went wide of the goal. And now Owen Power has it from the circle. He didn't try to really shoot. He didn't try to deke. He didn't try to pass. He tried to do all three a little bit, and he lost the puck. Here come the Capitals up the ice. They have McMichael and Protas out there. The shot comes in, which Luukkonen will hold. 8 seconds to go on the 4-on-4. 18:50 to go in regulation. Well, you would think all these high draft picks would turn into a winning team, but if you don't support them and develop them properly, it's not going to work. Yeah, that would do it. It's funny how you develop a hatred for the team that knocks your team out of the playoffs in your first playoff series experience. That is true. Puck gets deflected down and around. Dahlin playing it around here for the Sabres. The Sabres bring it out to center ice. And here comes Tuck. Tuck has it high slot down low. McLeod, dangerous area. Now he shoots it after he was out of the dangerous area. And it is sticked aside by the Capitals. Puck goes all the way back down the ice, where Luukkonen will hold it, and Kesselring will now hold it behind him. Sabres taking their time to lead out this rush. And they throw it up ice. Malenstein gets his stick in. They have Van Riemsdyk tied up in the corner. Do Malenstein and Dunn and Krebs, that fourth line out there trying to make some magic happen. Krebs chases it around, and the Capitals are not able to get it out cleanly as Byram takes possession in the Sabres' end. And now the Sabres dump it into the Capitals' end. Lindgren plays it from behind the net. Malenstein and Van Riemsdyk tied up. Now Dunn and Dowd tied up, and Dowd's going to get it cleanly, but he loses it in front of the net. And the Sabres pick it up as Timmins throws it back to the back wall. The Sabres' fourth line doing what they do best, zone time. And now there's going to be a penalty coming up on the Capitals, as a penalty against Dunn happened there. Puck goes out of the zone. Timmins is being pursued. He holds it, plays it to the opposite end of center ice. And now the Sabres try to go in. Power plays it back. Puck is just kind of floating around there. Sabres were in danger of running into too many men. And then a dangerous pass back to the front of the net by Krebs, which was handled by Quinn. Do not like to see that with an empty net. Quinn takes a shot, goes wide of the goal. Puck lands in the corner, and it is touched by the Capitals with 16:49 to go. The Sabres will find themselves on a power play coming up. Did not like that pass back by Krebs. Quinn was there in front of the goal, but there was no goalie. If it had taken a bad hop, it could have easily been a Capitals goal. Penalty was just a bit of a tie-up there by Chisholm, and he lost his stick. Heads-up play there a little bit in terms of getting... Yeah, and there's Ovi slashing Dahlin's fingers, which was not called because it's Ovechkin. Good luck to Ovi on 900. Good luck to the Sabres, too. At this point, we do not want Ovi to find the back of the net. Puck goes out of the zone, because I don't know if we'll be able to recover from that. Sabres on the power play. They are trying to bring it in. Dahlin brings it in, and they're able to get it back to the point here. Down low, chance Doan. Shot one-time chance from Thompson is saved by Lindgren. He dives on top of it, covers it up. 1:39 to go on the power play. 16:27 to go in regulation. Thanks for stopping in, Sierra. We enjoyed having you here. Thank you very much. I'm glad, we're falling back tonight. We get that extra hour, which is good. Yeah, for you, Gerald, I'm sure you've had a number of enemies over the years. There's always seems to be one bogey team that always comes up, a team that you just cannot quite get a handle on. And for the Sabres, that has always really been the case, except outside of the 80s, as you said there. Puck is in the zone for the Sabres on the power play. Thompson is holding it. He gets it to Dahlin at the center point. And then Rozan coming out of the circle. Dahlin to Rozan in the circle. Down low. Tic-tac-toe in front, but they aren't able to get the final toe on the tic-tac. And there's no goal forthcoming as it's sticked away by the Capitals. 16 minutes to play in the third period. 1:12 to go on the power play. Dahlin brings it into the zone. Drops it for Doan. Doan shielding the puck from the defenseman. He backhands it down behind the net. Zucker lets it go through for Rozan. Capital loses his stick, and the puck is ultimately cleared, which means the Capitals will be able to reset. Sabres have had some trouble setting up their power play, and when they have set it up, they only have gotten really one look on it. They've cycled it a lot, but just still doesn't look like a very authoritative unit at this point. They drop it off for McLeod to try to hit the line with speed. Tuck has it. And then Power now from the high slot. He looks afraid to shoot. Now he gets it to McLeod. They have a bit of space. Tip chance in front goes wide of the goal. Good opportunity there. And now flipping it to Power, who's able to recover it after he lost it. High slot there. Back to Power. Shot is blocked and goes wide of the goal. And diving play made there by the Caps to try to force it out. And it forces the Sabres to reset as time ticks away on the power play. 14:48 to go. Full strength has been restored for the Capitals as they kind of play with it in their own end, having some trouble finding a path up ice. Sabres are bringing the forecheck. They force a turnover. Timmins has it at center ice. He dumps it in to the zone, and I'm sure the Sabres will make a change there. Capitals now on a long pass out. Skating it around the zone is Protas. Around to Wilson McMichael, back to the point. And it goes back down low again. Timmins throws it forward a little bit. Krebs. And now Dunn, able to chip it across the red line, but not very far as the Capitals get possession back right away. As Strome now has it, throws it into the zone. But the Sabres are able to repossess and put it at the blue line and past Carlson. And ultimately to the other side of the ice where Chikrin dumps it in for the Caps. There is a penalty coming up on Buffalo here, so they will go to the penalty kill with 13:51 to go as play is stopped. So the Sabres will have to kill when we come back. Peyton Krebs is heading to the box. 3-3 the score, 13:51 to go here in the third. Must have been a luxury in those days. I mean, the Sabres have always historically had good goaltending, which is the beauty of it. But yeah, nobody better than the Dominator. So, but yeah, Ryan Miller was absolutely awesome. Not just for the Sabres, but for Team USA for a long time as well. The Sabres have had a really good historic pedigree with netminders. It's just now it's been tough to find one. It's a big luxury when you have a guy who can be reliably trusted to keep the puck out of your net. It makes everything easier. Sabres got that a little bit at the start of the year with Alex Lyon. He kept us in a lot of those games. He's a big reason why we were able to recover from that start. But having a guy who you can trust every night for a whole season without fail, that is a unique thing. And it's not something that the Sabres really have going for them these days. I mean, Lyon had been great. We don't know. I think Lyon falls back to the mean at some point. Not that his mean is bad. His mean is a very high-quality backup goaltender, but I think he can push into that low-level starter conversation, like a third-tier goaltender in the league. That I could see for Lyon. Yeah, and especially late in the year, yeah, you really need that netminder. I'm sure, and the Brodeur-Hasek battles, I'm sure, are the stuff of legend within this fan base and within that fan base. So I'm happy we have you guys here to give us that perspective on it. Sabres killing a penalty now. A minute 20 to go in the power play for the Capitals as they bring it into the offensive zone. Work it back to the point. Carlson tries to play it forward. Then he reloads with it as Wilson put it back to him. Shot comes in from the point. It is saved by Luukkonen. He holds it. Minute 04. Minute 4. Not a minute. Well, it is a minute 04, but 1:04 to go on the power play. 12:54 to go in the third period. To see those guys as often as you would have seen them with the scheduling back then, I mean, what a treat. What a treat to be able to enjoy that for a long period of time. It's one thing I think the league is lacking now. There are a lot of really good goaltenders, but as far as like the top level guys, it's not a golden age of goaltending right now. In terms of like rivalry and personality and just the battles you're going to get, it's not really a golden age. Yeah. Yeah, goalies don't really have much of a personality to them anymore. No, yeah, Hasek is. I think he's the best pound for pound of all of them. I mean, you could make an argument for any one of them, but for me, he's the best. Capitals on the power play here. 8 seconds left. The Sabres have done a really good job of killing it off. 11:55 to go here in the third. Capitals bringing it up ice. And they try to bring it into the zone. It's been a good kill here. Mallenstein, Greenway, and company have done a good job. The penalty is killed, but the puck remains in the Sabres zone. They work it back to the point. Greenway trying to challenge at the point. Milano taken down behind the net. And, well, we're going to have to do it again. Penalty is called on Beck Mallenstein, taking down the Capital behind the net. And the Sabres, after they kill one, are going to have to go right back on the penalty kill. He got the stick in and kind of got it under the skate of Milano. It is a trip for sure. Bad timing. Bad timing for sure. As you just kill one, and now you're going to have to kill another one, and you're going to have to kill it without one of your best penalty killers there in Beck Mallenstein, who will be in the box. And that's probably why he was, obviously that's why he's so successful. He was presenting folks with something that they hadn't seen before. It really changed the game for goaltenders here. Hey, Thomas, welcome in. Just gained consciousness. You just woke up. Where were you when you fell asleep? Sabres trying to kill this penalty. They have Tuck in the offensive zone. Shot, save made by Lindgren. Ovechkin going to pick it up. MSG has put the circle around Ovechkin basically the entire time he's been on the ice on the power play. They just have this magic circle that follows Ovechkin constantly. Capitals at the point now, trying to work it in on the power play. Ovechkin is out there. Goes down low, back, trying to work it to the slot. Now working to the high. Ovechkin is checked. The puck went out of the zone, they say, and it's going to be a stoppage. 1 minute, 6 seconds to go in the power play for the Capitals. 10:40 to go in the third. I don't want to do anything in regards to Ovechkin, so I'm not really going to talk about him. But Sabres have done a nice job overall of shutting down the Capitals so far on this power play and a half. But still got to stick it out for another minute, 6 seconds. Just to completely highlight him. That's going to be the next step. Big shot goes down the ice. 1 minute remains on the power play here for the Capitals. They bring it up ice. Ovechkin has left the ice, and thus the circle has disappeared. Perrier throws it down. Leonard finds it chipping up in the air on him, and the Sabres are able to get a clear with 38 seconds to go in the man advantage. The Caps have not looked very good on the power play thus far, but all it takes is one, and that number looks a heck of a lot better. We're at the 10-minute mark. The game is halfway. The period is halfway to its conclusion. Caps skated in behind the net. Tuck gets a stick on it. It goes to the point. Chisholm throwing it to Milano, who's knocked off the puck by Samuelson. Good hit to knock him off the puck. Timmins is able to get the clear down ice. And 10 seconds to go on the power play. Matthias Samuelsson throwing the body around. It's been nice to see. He has been really good this year. All jokes aside with him, he's been criticized very heavily by this fan base, especially last season because he didn't play very well. He's been a lot better this year. Some of those internal improvements that some of these players, the jumps they've made from last year to this year have been a big difference maker for this team. Capitals have a 3-on-2 opportunity now. They leave it back to the point. Shot save made by Luukkonen. Gave a big rebound, which the Capitals recover. And now they're working it around the offensive zone yet again. Wow, shot save made, rebound again by Luukkonen. He is giving up everything in terms of rebound. And the Sabres have not been able to control the rebounds good enough in this game tonight. Dowd throws it another shot from the point. Hits Luukkonen, and this time he holds it. And we're going to get a stoppage in play. So the Sabres penalty kill went to work, killed off 2 penalties. It's still 3-3 with 8:52 to go in the third. Oh, I'm sure that was something that they could all say as a point of pride. Like, we're not going to let him score tonight. We don't want that to happen in our building against us. I think that was one of the keys. That's probably one of the things they have spent extensive time talking about as a point of pride. Just don't let him get the overtime game winner if we get that far, please. Although, honestly, I'm all for them throwing him out there in overtime because he cannot skate like he used to. And he's a bit of a liability defensively now in terms of if he were to be out there in overtime. So, if they feel the need to do that, go ahead. Of course, we got to get there first. Yeah, I think so. Very much the identity and the hockey culture in Buffalo is you want to see a blue-collar team. The team should represent the city. That's always the case. And so Buffalo is a small, blue-collar, hardworking type of place. And that's what the hockey team should be. And I've always believed this with sports as well. The team has to represent its city in terms of its style of play. Otherwise, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Like Chicago. I'm going to look at the Bears, okay? I'm going to go to the NFL. The Chicago Bears for years have tried to be an offensive team. It's never going to happen. Unless they go full bore into defense first, it's never going to happen. The Baltimore Ravens have been trying for years and years and years to be one of the best offensive teams in the NFL, but their DNA is defense. When you ignore your DNA, your natural identity as an organization, I feel it just doesn't work. You have to always lean into what you are, what the historical patterns you've established. When you do that, I think you're much more likely to find success. And that's my kind of macro level view of sports in general there. Teams need to be what they have always been. Shot comes in from the point for the Capitals. 8:39 to go as we're back to action. It's behind the net now. McLeod is tying up with Belvier. Belvier out front. Shot in. Goalie down. Luukkonen is down. The puck is loose. He got run into there by Strome. Scary moment there as the puck was loose and the goalie was down and nobody knew where the puck was. Capitals back. Puck is intercepted there at center at the blue line. Tuck brings it across the blue line. Doan brings it across the blue line. And there is a shot on Lindgren, and he holds it. 8:10 to go in the third period. Shots 29-21, it should be, in favor of the Capitals, who are tied 3-3 with the Sabres. For sure. You got to just... it's good he's on track. Yeah, him and Dahlin seem to be... Well, they're the same draft year, right? The whole intention was at one time to have those guys playing together. That was the vision. That was the long-term vision when they drafted both of them the same year, was to develop Samuelsson so that he could be an eventual partner for Dahlin. This is the first time it's really been realized in a positive way. The Sabres are doing well. I think they responded very well going down 2-0 early. They could have given up the ghost right there. They were able to get it back 3-2 at the end of the first. Thompson a shot, save made Lindgren. Rebound is controlled by the Capitals. The Capitals scored right before the end of the third. But it's been another effort that you would be fairly happy with. Defensively, they've had to be better tonight. Shot comes in. It went through the crease, and now the Capitals have it at the right circle. They lose it. Zucker tries to bring it out, but he lost all his speed as he was tied up by the Capitals there trying to exit the zone. 7:18 to go in the third period, tied at 3. It was a game that looked like it would be a high-scoring affair with 3 goals in the first 3 minutes. But since then, we've had 3 goals. We've had 3 goals since then. Only 1 goal since the end of the first period. It's turned into a bit of a defensive battle. It's with shots 29-22. It's also not been a typical Sabres game offensively. They usually generate a lot of shots. But the Capitals have done good work and really been able to play their game defensively thus far. Big puck battle involving most of both teams taking place there. The Sabres bring it out with Quinn. He brings it across the red line, still battling for it, and the Capitals have to retreat behind their own net. Really good effort by Quinn to make them have to reset at the other end of the ice. 6:29 to go here in the third as the Caps bring it out and chip it down. Byram takes it behind the net for the Sabres. He's checked, and they're tied up behind the net. Ovechkin is out there for the Capitals now with Strome and Belvier. Ovi pokes it forward into the zone. He still has possession of it, puts it down low, where it is picked up by Kesselring, who throws it forward, and it is smacked down low by Malenstein, where Lindgren plays it behind the net, tries to play it out of the zone, gets by the ref, gets by Krebs, and now the Capitals bring it up ice as Strome has his pocket picked by Timmins as he tries to bring it into the zone. McLeod brings it to center, sends it to center. Power has to retreat back. Sabres are looking for a way through. They try to chip it in with Tuck to Doan. Chasing behind the net. Puck goes back out to center. The Sabres are getting the puck at center ice, but they're having a really difficult time getting it into the zone cleanly. They're trying to set up right at the blue line and chip it in to someone, but the Capitals are doing a very good job of shutting that down at the moment. Sabres are retaining possession pretty well, and now they have a path in with Tuck. He leaves it for McLeod. McLeod takes it behind the net, makes a man miss. Greenway is there. Tuck is there. They're coming in on the forecheck. Greenway shoves his man into the boards, but the Capitals are able to escape with the puck, and they send it across the red line. Luukkonen behind the net. He backhands it to Thompson. Thompson holding it in his own end. Makes a nifty little play there to try to get free. He's able to get it to Greenway, and Greenway got a piece of it to chip it down. Lindgren plays it out for the Capitals. And now Tom Wilson on the ice with McMichael and Protas. Luukkonen from behind the net chips it forward to Zucker. The puck is batted down. Caps were offside, so they couldn't play it. 4:23 to go here in the third. The Sabres are setting up in their offensive end with Dahlin. Dahlin up to Quinn. Quinn brings it in, takes a shot. It's blocked. Doesn't go on goal. It's now behind the net. Rosen is out there with Quinn and Krebs at the moment. Capitals bring it into the zone. Drop pass. And then a chance for Ovechkin in the circle, but he couldn't find it on his stick. Van Riemsdyk behind the net. Looks for a chance out front. Finds Ovechkin. He tries to take a shot in. It gets blocked away. And the Sabres trying to bring it out to center ice. Quinn is really doing a good job of battling for it. Now Kessering has it in the zone, but he loses it. And the Capitals are able to bring it across center ice again. They take it to the blue line. They leave it for Belvier, who's tied up by Doan. The puck gets out of the zone again. The Caps send it in with Carlson. 3:30 to go in the third. He sends it in from the red line. And the Sabres have possession. They bring it across the red line. McLeod, a nifty move, tries to get free in the offensive zone. Tries to leave it for Doan, but he can't do it. There's just no space right now. This is a time where you're going to either have to dump it in deep or you're going to have to use your speed and skating to make some space. However, there looks to be another penalty coming up as we head to the break. 3:12 to go. Game is tied at 3. Yeah, look, I don't think you can criticize Pegula for the ownership of this team, but I don't think you can criticize his fandom as a Sabres fan. Like, he truly does care about this team. He just isn't the best owner, perhaps. Mop with Josh Allen is the reason the Bills have been successful. I mean, it could be. I think you have to throw McDermott in there as well. McDermott's a really good coach. I know there's probably... that's my opinion as an outsider. I'm sure maybe Bills fans have a different opinion about it, but from the outside, I have a lot of respect for McDermott and what he's been able to put together in terms of establishing a culture for that team. And then, of course, Josh Allen as well. I can't really speak to the Bills. I'm obviously a Packers fan, so it's hard for me to speak for what's going on with Buffalo in terms of the Bills. I don't even know who the Bills play this week. Oh, Kansas City. Okay, that makes sense. That's going to be a tough one. That's a big one. I'm over here worried about the Carolina Panthers. So. Oh, that's a great insight, Local. Excuse me. I'm sorry. That was not a pleasant cough for you. I apologize very much. The Sabres are going to have to go on the penalty kill yet again here with 3:10 to go in the game. Alex Tuck is in the box. Capitals power play. That was a great time last week. I thoroughly enjoyed the Packers winning that game. The Capitals bringing the puck into the zone here. 1:40 to go. Sending the puck around the end here and all the way down the ice. It's a clearance. Lindgren touches it behind the net. John Carlson picks it up for the Capitals. Carlson looking around, throws it back. And here come the Caps. They bring it into the zone. And it is played back to the point. It almost escaped the zone. Caps did not have anybody there when they played it back to the point. Nearly got out of the zone. Wilson sends it around. Carlson now has it high slot. Ovechkin one-time chance stopped by Luukkonen. He got his body in front of it, and he was able to deflect the puck up and out of play. That was the grade A opportunity for Ovechkin that we'd been trying to avoid all night, and it finally came there, but fortunately UPL was up to the task. Got Carlson to Ovechkin in Ovechkin's office, uncovered. I might have got a piece of Kesselring, but I think it got mostly UPL. Did Kesselring block that? No. I think UPL is the one who got a shoulder on it, or it just went high, and Kesselring did get a piece of it. One way or the other, the Sabres were up for the task, and now they get it out of the zone, and the Caps try to turn it back into the zone quickly, but not able to do it. UPL sticks it, and the Sabres are able to clear the zone. 51 seconds to go on the power play, 2 minutes to go in regulation. Carlson tries to bring it up. Now he flips it back. Capitals are going to try to hit with some speed this time. But this time instead they dump it down. Mallenstein did a good job of getting his stick in the way and makes it too difficult to hit with speed. Puck goes to Greenway, who just fires it down ice. Lindgren holds it at the side of his net. 1:35 to go here in the third. And here they are. There's a bit of a check. Quinn gets a stick on it. Kesselring gets a stick on it. Power gets a stick on it, but the Capitals retain possession. And now Ovechkin. Oh, intercepted. Intercepted at the point. Here comes McLeod on a breakaway. McLeod in, shot save made by Lindgren. Oh, that was the chance. If he can put it in, oh my goodness. That would have lifted a weight off of this team. It would have lifted, and it would have blown the top off the KeyBank Center if he'd been able to find a goal there. As it stands, the penalty is killed. 54 seconds to go in regulation. Puck goes back to Roy. Or Wah. Let's call him Roy. I always mess that up. The only one I ever called Wah was the goalie. Puck up ice here. Dahlin behind the net. Sends it around. Krebs up ice. Here come the Sabres trying to hit with speed. Doan down low. There's a shot deflected up. Nobody can find it. The Capitals do eventually find it, get on top of it. But the Sabres are able to win the puck free. And now it goes to the other side of the zone where Doan is racing in. He's able to clash his stick with the Capital. And the puck just squirts out of the zone and back. 11 seconds to play. Dahlin has it behind UPL. And now Byram turtles up with it on the boards there in the Sabres zone. The Sabres are content to play for overtime. And that's what we're going to get for the fourth game in a row. The Sabres are heading to overtime. We always knew it was a possibility, but we didn't want to accept the reality. And here we are. Shots finish regulation 29-23 in favor of the Capitals. I said in my pregame video that if the Sabres have 25 shots or less, they lose this game. So they better get 3 shots in overtime. I will point out what we already know, that the Sabres have lost their last 3 games 4-3 in overtime. If they lose this game tonight, it will be 4-3 in overtime. That is our magic number at this point. The good news is we got another point. We have now gotten 3 points this week. That'll give us a whole 12 points through 12 games. If we do lose this game, we will have a 4-4-4 record, which if we were in an Asian country would not be very good. But as we are not, it's fine. So, the Buffalo Sabres, what do they need to do to win this game in overtime? Basically, the first step is don't lose the game in overtime. Last time I did not change. Yeah, but one of those, I think the Mallenstein penalty, I will say, was a legitimate trip. The other 2, I'm not so sure about. But the fact they gave him 3 power plays in sequence in the third period with Ovechkin on the cusp of, where he is, that feels like a bit of a attempt to generate a narrative. Not gonna call anyone out on that, but that feels like a bit of a, Well, we have a shot to put ourselves in record territory if we lose this one. if we do end up making the playoffs, we're going to appreciate these points. Right now, they do not feel so good. If we miss the playoffs, we're going to rue the fact that we lost all these games in overtime. Overtime is underway. John Carlson takes it behind the net. The Sabres are out there with Tuck, Thompson, and Dahlin. So the guys you'd want out there are out there. Carlson just tries to take it to the net by himself, rams himself into the net. The net is knocked off. Luukkonen doesn't look very good, actually. He looks a little bit shaken up. Maybe just the fact he got rammed into there. But the man is carrying 2 injuries. So hopefully it's not that way. He got hit in the head a little bit there by Carlson. Carlson ran himself just into the post. Did he just end up like maybe the back of the neck? Maybe the back? It's different. It's interesting to see where did Luukkonen get hit here. Oh, okay. He took a kind of a knee to the head. Yeah, that would do it. But if it is well, I mean, they're not taking him out. Hopefully he's okay. 4:37 to go here. Thompson and Strome facing off with each other. Yeah, you'd be right in the thick of it. Oh, hey Billy. By the way, thanks for stopping by and thanks for the comment there in the chat. Yeah, a team could go 0-82. Maybe the Sabres are going to go 4-4 and I can't do math. What would that be? 74? That'd be pretty fun. So the Sabres now in the zone. Tuck, you gotta avoid turning the puck over backwards, which is what he did there. 2-on-1 opportunity here. Shot, chance comes in. Save made by Luukkonen. Capitals still have the puck. Trying to do something with it. Back to Chychrun. Chychrun out there for the Capitals. And he has it in his feet. He can't find it. Eventually, Strome has to pick it up. Puck is held at the wall by Protas, and they play it back to center. The Caps not in a big hurry to get anything going right now. They still have 3:34 to go in overtime. Tom Wilson out there now. He wraps around the zone. He gets great position in the high slot. Save made by Luukkonen. Good body stop there. That was tremendous position by Tom Wilson. He just skated through everybody. The Sabres really, really need a change right now. Thompson, Dahlin, and Tuck have been out there for basically 2 minutes. They are exhausted and flagging. The Caps were able to get fresh bodies on. This is problematic right now if you are the Sabres. McMichael to Wilson to Fairharvey, back to McMichael. McMichael skating around, has it in the circle. Shot goes wide of the goal. The Sabres are too tired to chase it at this point. They're just content. There's a little poke, and now they're going to try to get a change. They're going to get one body on. Tuck was able to get replaced, but nobody else. Ovechkin a shot here, as the Caps have changed yet again. Carlson back. Tuck is... McLeod's calling for a change, but they can't. Thompson is just done. They get a shot rebound chance. They've been out there for the whole overtime at this point. Gotta find a way to push through it. Thompson's about ready to fall over, it looks like. He bangs into Ovechkin. It's basically 3-on-2 right now. Thompson is done, and Dahlin is exhausted as well. I mean, unless McLeod can find a way to get the puck or Luukkonen can get a hold, this thing is going to end very badly for the Sabres. 2:05 to go. The Capitals still working around the zone. Now they work it out of the zone. The Capitals have decided maybe no, can't get a change. McMichael down low. Ovechkin shot, save made by Luukkonen. McLeod's been out there a long time now too. Finally, they miss a pass, and the Sabres are able to change personnel. Lindgren tries to keep the pressure on, sends it up ice. He's able to do it. Chychrun a shot, save made by Luukkonen. Good save there. And finally, the Sabres have people. Jack Quinn in on a bit of a breakaway. Tries to go backhand. He cannot get the puck away. It wasn't really a clean breakaway. Capitals were able to get a stick on him and stop him. Doan is out there. Shot comes into the netting. I believe that was deflected up. Doan and Byram. My goodness. Thompson is... he looks hurt. I think he's out there to try to skate it off right now. He took a block from Ovechkin in the knee. is what they're showing on the replay. Let's give some love to UPL. He made some good saves in that sequence. Thompson's trying to tough it out on the bench, but yeah, points to him. He stayed out there and he tried. He kept trying to skate. He was clearly done. Can't let that effort go to waste. Sabres try to win the draw. They are able to win it back, but back to nobody. Tom Wilson is trying to beat Samuelson to the puck, but Samuelson beat him. Minute 15 to go in overtime. Caps are out shooting 33-23 now. Caps have had 4 shots, I believe, to the Sabres 0. Sabres bring it into the zone with Greenway. Greenway now trying to skate around the zone, and it goes all the way back to Luukkonen. And I think the Sabres' problem is they just don't have enough guys you can throw out there who present a speed challenge in an overtime situation. Samuelson has it at the red line, brings it back into his own zone. It's the Sabres' turn to change their bodies. Samuelson waits and gives it to Quinn, who brings it into the zone. Isaac Rozan is out there now as well, giving him an overtime shift. That's maybe a little bit questionable, but he's played well tonight, but 30 seconds to go in overtime. Capitals bring it into the zone now. Strome has it. Strome leaves it, and a kind of a wraparound opportunity. Back to the point here for Strome. He takes a shot, save made. Luukkonen, he tries to hold it and does. 14.8 to go here in overtime. The Sabres might be able to escape overtime, but then they're going to be presented with their next challenge. So if they get out of that, and I have no idea what the outlook for that would be. I give them credit. Quinn did a good job of clearing himself out so that Luukkonen could have a chance at that save. And UPL has done very well this overtime so far. I'm knocking on wood right now because with 14.8 left, who knows what's going to happen. They're going to throw, are they going to have, is there a timeout? Yeah, timeout, Washington. The Caps call a timeout with 14.8 to play here. So a good chance to bring everybody over, get everybody on the same page. It looks like the Caps are going to go with Ovi, Strome, and Chychrun for the final 14.8. The Sabres are probably going to have Dahlin, Samuelson, McLeod out there for the remainder of this game. I think that's a good choice on the Sabres' part. I think those are the right guys to have out there. I think for the Caps, you obviously want to get Ovechkin out there because you want to have him an opportunity. It's a good mix of guys, good mix of speed and scoring. So 14.8 to go here in overtime. Capitals have 9 shots in this overtime period. The Sabres have 0. You think eventually the bow's going to break, but we just got to survive this remaining 14.8. Linesman taking a sweet time to drop the puck. He does finally drop it. Samuelson behind the net. Going to skate it up. 10 seconds to play. If they're going to go, they got to go now. Dahlin takes it in. 6 seconds to play. Shot down low. Samuelson down a tip, and it just went wide. McLeod throws it on goal. It's sent wide by Lindgren, and that will end overtime tied at 3. So, guys, we survived. This is not going to be an overtime loss. We have broken the matrix. We are no longer trapped. It might be a shootout loss, but at least it won't be an overtime loss. Something different has happened. We are not caught in a temporal loop. However you want to put it. Really good opportunity there at the end of overtime for Buffalo. I'm on a locals team here. I think we just got to learn how to win in regulation. I'm done with the stress that this is causing. I don't even know what you begin to do in a shootout with this team. It's progress, but it doesn't get you any more points unless you find a way to win. Unfortunately. And I'm all about getting points and finding ways to win. So, but overall for the Sabres, you have to say this was a pretty good night. Unfortunately, the bad news for the Sabres, Ottawa and Montreal have found their way to overtime. So everyone in the division who was in action tonight has picked up points. That is the bad news. So if you're the Sabres and you lose this game, you're going to lose ground in the division even still. So, yeah, they were exhausted, man. They just could not get a change. Shootout time. Jack Quinn is going to take the first chance here for Buffalo in the shootout. He'll be looking to score on Charlie Lindgren. Obviously, he wouldn't be looking to do anything else. And we are away here in the shootout. Quinn takes the puck, skates in, approaches from the circle, stops, looks, shoots, save made. Lindgren tried to go low. I don't think he got close enough, and I don't think he hit with enough speed. It was kind of a waiting game. And he was close. He almost got him 5-hole, but Lindgren was able to get the top of the pad down in time. So Dylan Strome will be out there now for the Caps, looking to score against UPL. Strome brings it in, approaches from the circle, looks for the angle, goes backhand, and it is put wide. UPL was able to get a pad on that, I believe. I think Strome would have been better off going forehand. I think he had the better look there, but he decided to make one more backhand movement. And yeah, UPL got the pad on it. Excellent save there by UPL. Tage Thompson, he's somehow still alive, and he is out there skating. He's now taking it with speed through the circles. Backhand, forehand, and he put it high, or Lindgren got a pad on it. He just missed either way. Really close to pay dirt there. See it on the replay. Yeah, Lindgren got this pad on it. He had him beat, just couldn't elevate it quite enough. Belvier out there now for the Capitals. He takes it in, going wide from the circle, now cuts to the middle with a little bit of speed. Forehand is stopped by UPL stick side with his pad, and no goals yet in the shootout. Yeah, I just don't think we don't have anyone who can really attack with speed or skill. And so Alex Tuck is going to get the call here in the third round of the shootout. He's 44.4% in his career. Takes it not so fast. Now he approaches, makes a little bit of a move, and he puts it off the post, I believe. Had Lindgren beat, but I believe he got all post there. Made a good move. And no, it was pad, not post. Top of the pad. Again, Lindgren's done well getting his pad to these sticks. Connor McMichael, it'll be his fourth career attempt at the shootout in the NHL. He brings it in, looks, gets UPL to go low, not even close. He sent it backhand well wide of the goal. The Sabres have had the better of the opportunities, I think, but we are still goalless as we are now in the sudden death portion of the shootout. Rasmus Dahlin will be his fourth career shootout attempt. He's 1 for 3 in his career, and he'll be looking for his second shootout goal here. Makes a move, shot, glove save by Charlie Lindgren. Could not beat him. Not really close either. Yeah, nobody has the moves. Nobody has the speed. Dahlin, a pretty straightforward attempt, just tried to beat him glove side. Now it's Ovechkin, 29.6 in his career with 37 career shootout goals. This will not count as 900. Ovechkin brings it in, goes forehand on a little deke, but UPL sees it off, and we are scoreless through 4 rounds. Heading to the 5th. Who do the Sabres have? Who can possibly win at this exercise? It is very unclear. I just would start throwing goofy people out there now. Bowen Byram is a choice. He brings it in. He goes forehand, and he scores! Bowen Byram beats Charlie Lindgren, and the Sabres are a UPL stop away from picking up 2 points. Bowen Byram, he went a little backhand, then he went forehand, and he got a nice shot that Lindgren couldn't pick up. Really short side. Like, there was a tight angle there. And here comes, for the Capitals, Leonard. Leonard bringing it in with a wide angle, cuts to the middle. Deeks shoots. He couldn't get it off his stick, and the Sabres win in the shootout. Buffalo takes it, got the 2 points, got the win, and that is a nice ending to a very, very well-played, competitive hockey game. Big win for Buffalo. Whew. That is wonderful work. Leonard just lost it off his stick. And good job, UPL. You got to give a lot of credit for UPL. I mean, very much criticized after his first game. Came in here tonight in overtime, made 9 saves on 9 shots, and then was perfect in the shootout. That has to feel good for him. Bronx Tale, thank you for joining in. The bye. I got to have a little bit more time to come up with those. I'll keep it in mind for future reference. Thank you so much. Yeah, everyone local, Bronx Tale, Billy, Mossy, Josati. Beautiful, beautiful game tonight. Gerald, thank you, of course, for your wise commentary as always. Mop, thank you very much. Sean, it was good to see you today. Hope the Bills get you a win tomorrow against the Chiefs. Billy Bob, that was a yeah. We'll take it. Certainly. Avocado Hank, thank you very much. Yeah, we don't have to suffer an overtime loss. Thank goodness. We've been developing a complex with those. So we can enjoy our extra hour of sleep. We don't have to think about it for an extra hour. We get to enjoy it for an extra hour. Gerald, thank you very much. You have a good night. Everyone out there, hope you have a wonderful evening. Enjoy. If you're watching the rest of the World Series tonight, enjoy the rest of the World Series. For what it's worth, there's still a lot of game left there. Let's string this together. Look, we got Utah coming in next. Utah's a very hot team right now, but maybe Josh Doan and Michael Kesselring have an axe to grind. We got the Blues next week, and we got Carolina at the start of a road trip. It's not going to be easy, but we can do it. Peace, Josati. Take care. Have a good evening. It's been really, really good. Thank you all for coming out tonight. This stream has been our best attended stream thus far. Really appreciate all of you who have showed up. Really good comments, really good stories, really good perspectives. It was lovely to hang out with you all this evening and to get a Sabres win together. So next stream will be next Saturday as the Sabres take on the road to face the Carolina Hurricanes. We'll be seeing y'all hopefully back in here then. We have 2 games this week. We'll have all the coverage here for you. There will be a recap coming out probably sometime tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, so please look for that. Local, thank you very much. A lot of fun with all y'all. Thank you all for coming out. It's been a great time. Every time we do these streams, it's a great time. So really appreciate every single one of you, and hopefully we'll see y'all next week against the Carolina Hurricanes. So thank you all for watching. Please keep watching the videos, commenting on the channel. Try to respond to everything I see on there as much as I can. So thank you all so much. As always, go Sabres. Bye-bye.